Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto finds a scythe in the forest of death. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Stephanusrex and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1 The Scythe. In the dark paths of the forest of death we find Uzumaki Naruto, who was running for his life. His clothes were torn and he had many injuries. Right now he was on the second part of the Chunin exams. However, he was alone because his teammates were killed by IWA shinobis and now they chased him to kill him too because he was the son of the fourth Hokage. But what they didn't know that it doesn't matter if they kill him because Namake's Minato, the fourth Hokage, didn't care about his son. When the Kyuubi attacked Konoha, Minato sealed only the soul of the demon fox in Naruto. The chakra was sealed in Naruto's twin sister Namake's Yumi. Yumi started her training when she was 4 years old, but for Naruto any kind of training was forbidden. Minato said he would be trained when he was in the academy. So Naruto started his training when he was 8 years old. He tried to train by himself, but an ANBU always watched him and stopped him because these were the Hokage's orders. And when he started the academy his life didn't become better. His teachers barely taught him anything and what they taught him was utterly useless, like who was the first Hokage, why he was famous, etc. By this time his sister was way stronger than him. But his problems didn't end here. Because the villagers knew the fox's soul was inside him, they thought he was the fox itself, so they always beat him up, chased him, and sometimes they almost killed him. Then Jiraiya came with his stupid prophecy. A child who was born from too powerful warrior will carry a heavy burden. This child can save the world or leave it in darkness. Minato, Jiraiya, and sadly Naruto's mother, Kushina, thought Yumi is the child who will save them, because she carried a heavy burden, the chakra of the Kyuubi. But I think everybody agrees that Naruto had a way heavier burden. Naruto was ignored by his parents and godparents too. They didn't taught him anything and neglected him. When they finished the academy, Yumi was the kunoichi of the year while Naruto was an average student. Yumi's teammates were Uchiha Sasuke and Hiruno Sakura, while Naruto's teammates were a boy and girl, but they came from a civilian family. He didn't really know their names. Their Jounin sensei was an average teacher, but like the others he hated Naruto too. With this, Naruto didn't have friends, there was nobody whom he could talk. Hyuga Hinata tried to become his friend, but in time she stopped it, nobody knew why. But then he found the one who was willing to talk to him. It was the Kyuubi, but he asked Naruto to call him Kurama. Kurama listened to him, and gave him advices, but unfortunately he didn't really have any idea how he could increase his training. With some luck Naruto and his teammates became an official team. They did some D and C rank missions. But all this time Naruto barely learned anything new, and when the Chunin exam came his sensei nominated them immediately. He wanted to get rid of Naruto as soon as possible. He felt sorry for the other two, but it was for the greater good. They passed the first test, but when the second came everything went from bad to worse. An IWA team ambushed them and killed Naruto's teammates immediately. Naruto was lucky because he could hold up against them for a few minutes, but then he saw this was impossible, so he fled. And now we are back where this story started, with Naruto was running for his life. Naruto was running as fast as he could while Kurama shouted in his head, "Could you run faster? They are not too far." Shouted Kurama, who wasn't in the mood to die. "I am trying, but I am almost out of chakra, and as far as I know you can't give me." Shouted Naruto in his head, hoping the fox would shut up. Okay, just hurry and find a place where we can hide," said the fox, and Naruto suddenly saw a cave and run in. He leaned against the cave's wall, and suddenly he fall into route of the cave. He slided down, then he fell into some kind of huge cave tunnel. When he looked up he saw a scythe in the center of the tunnel. He went closer to see it. The scythe was a little bigger than Naruto. The handle looked like it was made of a human spine, while the blade was in socket that looked like a head of a demon. When Kurama saw the weapon he started to speak again. "It can't be," said the fox with surprise. "What do you mean?" "It looks like a plain old scythe," said Naruto. "It isn't just a plain old scythe. That is the death scythe," said Kurama, who was a little afraid of the weapon. "The death scythe? How can it be, and what does it do here?" asked Naruto. "You know there are many other dimensions, this isn't the only one. However, there is only one death, who collect the souls. But I heard from other demons that in one of the other dimensions a human was able to steal the scythe. Then he ambushed the hell. He didn't do nothing else, they just killed and killed. He killed damned souls, demons and monsters. And with the power of the scythe he became so powerful he could go against the most powerful demon, Lucifer. As far as I know he couldn't kill him, but he managed to seal him away. But before that Lucifer banished that weapon somewhere. I would have never thought he sent it here. But now you can take it and show everybody how powerful you are," said the fox, and Naruto was tempted. How powerful was this person? Asked Naruto, who wanted to know everything before he made his choice. His name was Dante, and imagined that he could survive dives from hundreds of meters. He could defeat Cerberus, the three-headed dog, in a few minutes. And Cerberus's power is equal that huge frog that your father uses, said the fox. Then continued Dante's achievements which he earned in the hell. Then with this scythe I can show I worth something. I can even defeat my sister, said Naruto with some venom, because his sister in the last few years became selfish, vain and hateful. Yes, just take it, and you will be the strongest. But remember, the scythe has enormous dark power which can corrupt you. It didn't work on Dante because he had his love who stopped him to fall into the darkness completely. Said the fox as a last warning. I will manage it somehow. Said Naruto, then grabbed the handle and tried to pull out the weapon from the stone. After some try he managed to pull out, then suddenly he felt its power. His orange jacket which he hated so much torn to pieces just like his shirt. His pants became from the orange to brown and some armor appeared on his thigh. Armor appeared on his left arm and on his shoulders too. Then he felt his chest started to burn, but in truth a cross started to appear as a tattoo. In the cross there were weird drawings. When the burning was stopped on his back, a holder appeared where he could put the scythe, then his whole body started to become more muscular. The changing was stopped after a few minutes, but after that Naruto was really worn out. So he sat down, and he found a little puddle and checked his new self. He liked the changings. He examined the tattoos, and when he looked at it closer he suddenly had a vision. When the vision was over he understood the tattoos. Those were the sins that was committed against him. Kurama told him that Dante saw a cross on himself with his sins, but in his case it was a tattoo and the other sins were on it. When Naruto finished the checkings he felt suddenly some pain in his whole body. He collapsed on his knees and he had to hold himself with his arm. He screamed like there was no tomorrow, but the pain stopped after a few minutes. Are you alright, Naruto? Asked the fox with some concern. Yes, I am fine now, said Naruto while he panted. Do you know what was this? Asked Naruto, but the fox shocked his head. I don't know, but I felt some dark energy when you felt the pain. Maybe one of the dark and unholy powers after effect. It is hard to say. But are you sure you are alright? Asked the fox. Yes. It is time to go and get those scrolls, said Naruto, because his scroll was taken by the IWA shinobis, because he was stupid enough that he let one of his teammates to carry it. Naruto climbed out from the cave and started to look for the IWA shinobis to get their scrolls and to test his now power. It didn't take much time and they found Naruto, but they were surprised because of his new attire. Well, look at this, guys. I think he wants to seduce us. Sorry, but we don't bend that way, said one of the IWA shinobi, and they started to laugh. I will give you one chance to give me the scrolls, or you will die painfully, said Naruto with a serious tone, but the IWA shinobis only laughed. Do you really think we will give you the scrolls and you will kill us? The last time you run away like a coward, said the same IWA shinobi while the others laughed. A few things changed, but never mind that. Now the scrolls, said Naruto. I think we will take our chances, said the IWA shinobi. It is your funeral, but don't complain me when you die. I tried to warn you, said Naruto and took out his scythe. Come on guys, let's kill him and avenge our fathers, said the IWA shinobi, and the others cheered, and when the first one turned back to face Naruto he was already in front of him. The IWA shinobi didn't even sense him. Naruto didn't wait much, with one swing he decapitated him. The others looked at Naruto, and their killed teammate with shock on their faces. Naruto didn't wait and went for the other two. They took out their kunai knives and tried to protect themselves. However, the scythe was too powerful and cut through the knives in their hands. Naruto cut off one of the IWA shinobi's hand, and when he filed his lost hand Naruto cut off his head too. The last one was terrified and tried to run away, but Naruto activated the one of the scythe power. The blade moved up and now looked like a spear, then shot out while the handle stretched. The blade went through the shinobi's chest and pulled him back, where Naruto pulled out the scythe and cut him half. When Naruto finished, 3 yellow orb appeared and then scythe consumed them. How are you feeling after the first kill? Asked Kurama. I feel fine. No, I never felt this good. Maybe this is the feeling of the victory. But what were those orbs? Asked Naruto. Those were their souls. Now you own them, and with some souls you can power up your scythe, or you can sacrifice them to get now powers, said Kurama, and Naruto smiled devilly. Good, I will need every power to defeat my sister, then my father, and everybody else how dares to stop me to become the most powerful warrior, said Naruto, and Kurama saw the darkness already started to spread in his mind and soul. Naruto collected the scrolls and their headbands, then went to the tower immediately. By the time the sun went down Naruto reached the tower. Fortunately he didn't run into other teams, but deep down he wanted to meet a few other teams to test more of his new power. When he went inside he saw the table and read it. Then he opened the scrolls and his sensei appeared. Well, I didn't accept that you would come this far, but congratulations, said Naruto-sensei, but then he saw only Naruto, and he looked weird. Naruto, where are your teammates? Asked the sensei with some fear. An IWA team attacked us and killed them, said Naruto with a very calm voice, like he didn't really cared about them. Then how did you survive? Asked the sensei again. Firstly, I tried to defeat them, but it looked impossibly to defeat them because of your useless training methods, said Naruto with some anger now, so the only thing I could do after they died to run. Then I surprised them and lured them into a trap and killed them, said Naruto with some lie, then pulled out their headbands for proof. Okay, but what happened to your clothes and what is that tattoo? Asked the sensei with some concern. Nothing you have to worry about, said Naruto, and the sensei couldn't do anything about. Alright, because your teammates died, only you can participate on the next part of the exam. said the sensei, and Naruto nodded, then left to rest a little, then eat something because there is still 2 days before the next exam. While Naruto got the scythe and tested on the IWA shinobi, something very interesting happened in the land of toads. The great sage Toad was resting when he suddenly had a vision. But this vision was painful and cruel. In his vision he saw fire, pain and death. The blood flew in rivers. Then he suddenly saw a boy with a scythe who harvested the people. And before he could see what was the end, the vision, it was over and he returned. He was panting and sweating. He felt he just looked into the eye of the death. Great sage, are you alright? Asked Fukasaku, who just came in. Called Jiraiya immediately. Said the sage while he tried to collect himself. What happened? Asked Fukasaku with some concern. I am not sure yet, but I had a vision. Said the sage. And what happened in it? Asked Fukasaku. The world was in flames. Said the sage, and Fukasaku got scared. I summoned him immediately. Said Fukasaku, and made the seals revert summoning. Said Fukasaku, and Jiraiya appeared in the chamber. What the? Said Jiraiya, who found himself in the great sage's chamber. What the hell, Fukasaku-sama, I was in the middle of a very important researching. Said Jiraiya, but Fukasaku looked him with a frown. We don't have time for your stupid researching, the sage had a vision. Said Fukasaku, and Jiraiya shut up immediately. What did you see? Asked Jiraiya with a serious tone. The world was in flames and a boy who killed everybody with a scythe. He was the death itself. But I didn't see the whole vision. Said the sage. What do you mean? Asked Jiraiya, who started to panic. I am not sure, but the vision seemed incomplete. Maybe in time I will see the rest of it. But be careful, Jiraiya, because this boy wants to destroy everything. Said the sage. And didn't you see a girl in your vision? Asked Jiraiya, hoping that maybe Yumi will be the one who can stop this. No, I didn't, but as I said, the vision wasn't complete. Maybe the rest of it will give us the answers. Said the sage, and Jiraiya nodded. All right. I will return to Konoha and tell everything to Minato and Kushina. Maybe they know something. Said Jiraiya, and the toads nodded. Then Jiraiya summoned himself back to Konoha and went to Minato immediately. Minato was shocked about the news, but he didn't have any idea who it can be. But right now it was a smaller problem, because Orochimaru appeared in the Forest of Death and marked Uchiha Sasuke with the cursed seal. Moreover, his training with Yumi was held up because she couldn't use the Kyuubi's chakra. She went berserk after the first tale appeared, and they didn't have any idea how they can stop this. When they finished the conversation, Jiraiya left, but before that he said he would try to find this boy with the scythe. Minato nodded, then went home to sleep because the next day will be the last day of the second part of the Chunin exam. The last day was finished, and now in front of Minato and the Jounin sensei stood 22 genin to continue the Chunin exam. What Minato noticed immediately that Naruto was alone, but the biggest remark was the scythe on his back. Minato hoped it wasn't Naruto who Jiraiya talked about, but after the exam he will ask about it and those weird tattoos. Minato didn't hate his son, just he didn't show the same talent that Yumi had, so he slowly pushed him away. At least it was what he thought. While Kushina always wanted to take him out from the shinobi program, because he didn't have huge chakra reserves like her or Yumi. That's why she didn't want to teach him, hoping he would give up and try to find a safer career. But Naruto didn't want to give it up. However, both of them knew about the beating, but they couldn't stop the villagers, because Minato was afraid the civilians would vote to fire him. After Minato told the meaning the Chunin exams, the next part started. The first match was Uchiha Sasuke against the Kato Yoroi. Sasuke won, but just barely. The next one was Kankuro against Tsurugi Misumi. Kankuro won because he injured severely his opponent. The next one was Temari against Tenten. Tenten didn't have a chance, so Temari won without breaking a sweat. After this came Akamichi Choji against Kinyuta Dosu. Dosu defeated him easily. The next one was Tsuchi-kin against Nara Shikamaru. Shikamaru won with his superior tactic. The next one was Yamanaka Ino against Haruno Sakura. Unfortunately, none of them won, because they knocked out each other. But when the Jounin saw their fight, they saw how undertrained they were. A real shame for every kunoichi. The next was Gaara against Rock Lee. Lee fought bravely, but even he couldn't defeat a Jinchuriki like Gaara. The next was Aburame Shino against Namikaze Yumi. Because Yumi knew how Shino would attack with his bugs, she used taijutsu, and with one Rasengan she defeated him. The following match was Inuzuka Kiba against Yakushi Kabuto. Kabuto stayed in because Naruto raised his curiosity. So he fought against Kiba and defeated him very easily. And the following match that everybody wanted to see so much, Uzumaki Naruto against the Bumi Zaku. Naruto only smiled, then jumped down. Zaku did the same, then they walked to each other. I don't know what happened to Naruto-kun, but that scythe and those tattoos look very interesting, thought Orochimaru, who stayed to see this match. Maybe the fox's soul did something to him? Thought most of the Jounin senseis. Well, that's how strong you are, Enai-chan, but I am sure you are not stronger than I am, and you never will be. Thought Yumi with her vain attitude. How that baka thinks that new attire will make me to turn against Sasuke-kun. Well, you are wrong. You are just a second-rate shinobi, a nobody. Thought Sakura and Ino. What happened to Naruto? His aura is dark and cold. It feels like I am looking at the death. Well, never mind, it is too troublesome. Thought Shikamaru. This kid looks different. When we first saw him he looked like a real weakling, but now it feels like Gaara if not worse. Thought Kankuro and Temari. Naruto-kun, what happened to you? Is it because you were alone? I am sorry I tried to be your friend but I was afraid. But I promise from now on I will be there for you and don't care what my clan says. Thought Hinata. Whatever happened to Naruto we will see now. Thought Minato. I hope Naruto doesn't push himself too much. But where did he got that scythe and those weird tattoos? Just please survive this. Thought Kushina. Well, both of you are ready? Asked Gecko Hate and both of them nodded. Then you can start. Said Hate, then he jumped away. Well, you look like a real weakling so you would do better if you just give up. Said Zaku, but Naruto only took out his scythe and looked at him. Hey, didn't you hear me? Asked Zaku again. I heard you but I want to go home so just let's finish this quickly. Said Naruto and Zaku didn't like his tone. Alright then I will blow you away with my most powerful jutsu. Said Zaku and held up his arms to use his weapon. Naruto only smiled and then before Zaku could use his arm Naruto disappeared. When he reappeared again Zaku only saw swing then Naruto appeared before him. But the strange thing was that his scythe were on his back again, and in his hands were bleeding arms. When he looked at them he noticed those were his arms. Then he slowly started to look down, and saw his bleeding arm, or what was left from it. Hey my arms, my arms. Give my arms back, screamed Zaku with full voice. Sure, here they are. Said Naruto with an evil smile and threw the arms in front of him. Zaku collapsed on his knees and tried to pick them up but because of the shock he didn't realize he didn't have hands to hold them. While he tried to pick them up Naruto took out his scythe again and walked to Zaku to finish this. He walked behind him and put the blade to his neck and he still smiled. Please show mercy. Said Zaku while he started to cry, moreover he soiled and peed himself. Sorry, I am out of mercy. Said Naruto, then twitched the blade and cut off his head. I think I won. Said Naruto and started to walk back to the balcony. Because Zaku died Uzumaki Naruto won. Said Hate then called the medic shinobis to come and collect Zaku's parts. You are very interesting Naruto-kun. I will continue seeing your progress. Thought Orochimaru. The fox's soul definitely made something to him. Thought every jounin. What the hell was that? He just killed him without breaking a sweat. But the genin had to be way stronger than Naruto was. Sakura said how he fought in the forest he should have won, not Naruto. I think he is a little stronger than I thought but you are still weaker than me. Thought Yumi. That Baka is a real monster. He just killed him with cold blood. I knew he was a demon and now he showed the proof of it. And if he think he is stronger than Sasuke is then he is stupider than he looks like. Thought Sakura and Ino. Oh my god. This became more troublesome than I thought. I hope I don't have to fight him. Thought Shikamaru. This kid is frightening. He is as cruel as Gaara if not more cruel. He is a real monster. Thought Temari and Kankuro. My god. Naruto-kun. What have you become? Maybe it is not too late to help him. I have to save him before he does something he regrets. Thought Hinata. My dear. Maybe Naruto is the one who Jiraiya talked about. But if this is true, what can I do? I have to kill him to save the world? What should I do? Thought Minato. Naruto? When did you become this cruel? Maybe we pushed him away too much. Alright, I will talk to Minato and from now on we will be real parents to you. Thought Kushina. Then the final match came Hyuga Hinata against Hyuga Neji. Neji was way stronger than Hinata but before Neji could kill her a scythe landed between them then Naruto appeared too to stop the match. Alright Neji, you made your point. You are stronger than her. Now finish this. Said Naruto with a serious tone. What does matter to you? You are just a commoner, a nobody. Even your parents hate you. Your fate is to die slowly because you are weak. Your victory was a fluke. Fate would never side with you. Said Neji with anger. Did you finish your preach about fate or there is more? Asked Naruto with stoic face. Why you said Neji but Naruto stopped him. But I have to ask you. If you think that is my fate then what is yours? Asked Naruto. My fate is to become the most powerful shinobi and defeat the main house. Said Neji and Naruto started to laugh. You really decided that is your fate? Said Naruto while he laughed. And you think my fate is to die slowly? Please don't laugh me. If you really think you can decide everybody's fate then you are stupider than I thought. Said Naruto while he tried to stop the laughing. And you think that her fate was to die here and now? Asked Naruto. It should have been but you interrupted me. Said Neji with some anger. She doesn't deserve death. She is innocent in your father's death. Said Naruto and Neji looked at him with wide eyes. How do you know this? Asked Neji. Don't worry about that. But there are a few other sins she committed so don't worry, she needs some atonement. Said Naruto and started to leave. Then why did you stop me if she has sins? Asked Neji. Who knows, but those sins aren't connected to you and I will not let you to kill her because of the sins she never committed. Said Naruto with a serious tone. Then what about Zaku? Why did you kill him? Asked Neji. Because he was annoying. Said Naruto then went back to the balcony. Hinata was taken to the hospital then the winners were called. They stood in front of Minato, and he told them what would happen next. Then everybody pull out a number from a box. After everybody told their number, Ibiki showed them how they would fight in the next part of the exam. Naruto vs Yumi, Sasuke vs Gaara, Temari vs Shikamaru, Neji vs Kankuro, Dosa vs Kabuto. Everybody understood and started to leave to start their training, but Minato still didn't finish it. Naruto, stay here for a moment, said Minato, and Naruto stopped. Yes, father, said Naruto. Let's talk a little, like father and son, said Minato, and Naruto looked at him with an evil smile. Sure, why not? Chapter 2, You sinned. So what do you want to talk about, my dear father? Asked Naruto with a monotone but threatening tone. Firstly, what happened to your teammates? Asked Minato, hoping Naruto didn't kill them. We were ambushed by IWA genins in the forest, and they killed them immediately. I tried to defeat them, but I had no chance because of my poor training. I ran away, then lured them into a trap and killed them. Here are their headbands, said Naruto, and showed the bloody headbands. Minato was horrified, but curious how Naruto was able to kill those genins, because from the reports he knew those IWA genins were strong. So they were careless, or Naruto was lying. Then what about that scythe? Asked Minato, hoping Naruto isn't the one Jiraiya spoke about. Oh, this. I found this in the forest in a cave. But don't worry about it, it is just a plain old scythe, said Naruto with a smile, but even a blind man could see it was an evil smile. And the tattoos, that armor, and your whole new look? What can you tell me about that? Asked Minato, who was still not convinced. I found the armor, and the clothes next to the scythe. And I made the tattoos before the exam, that's why you didn't see it before, lied Naruto, hoping Minato believe everything, but he didn't really care if he believed it or not. Who made it? Asked Minato. A wanderer tattoo artist who just came to Konoha to see if he can open a shop, but he couldn't find a good place, so after he finished this he left. I even saw him leave the village. Naruto continued lying. And what does those pictures mean? Asked Minato again. Nothing you have to worry about. It is more like an artist's fantasy. Most of them are just pictures without any real meaning. It means what you think it means. It is different for everybody, said Naruto, but Minato knew he was lying. And why did you do it? You know I and your mother hate when you do something stupid. Be sure your mother will tell you her opinion about this, said Minato, but Naruto didn't really care about it. I did it for fun, said Naruto, and Minato started to had enough of Naruto. Fine, we will talk about this later. Now go home, I have to go back to work, then I have to train your sister if I find time for it, said Minato, and teleported back to the Hokage tower. Naruto only smiled then left, but before that he went to the morgue to collect Zaku's soul. He didn't take it when he died because Minato would be more suspicious. When he got the soul he went to the underground tunnel which went back to the village. When he was out he went home immediately. At home Kushina was waiting for him. It is good you are home, Naruto-kun. Congratulations on winning your match, said Kushina with a nervous smile. What does it matter to you? You and my father never really cared what I do. So what changed? Asked Naruto, and Kushina didn't really know how to answer this question. Naruto, you know we always look after you and we love you. And your sister loves you too. She just needs a little more of our time because of the training we give her, and you know we have to train her because if she goes berserk she could destroy the whole village, said Kushina, but Naruto wasn't touched. Yeah, right. Of course. Her training and protecting the village, said Naruto, and Kushina thought she reached her son. That's right, Naruto. But I promise you I will talk to Minato, and we will train you too for the finals, said Kushina with a smile, but Naruto only looked back with a frown. And how stupid do you think I am? Asked Naruto, and Kushina was surprised because of the question. Naruto? I don't understand what you are talking about, said Kushina, and Naruto only shocked his head. Do you think I will believe that you will train me? You trained Yumi since she was 4 years old. I could start training when I was 8 years old, and at the academy the training was a joke. Moreover, you never let me train on my own before the academy because those bloody NBU agents stopped me every time. I would never imagine that my father or even you could find a little time to train me. So I will train alone, said Naruto, and he was about to go to his room when Kushina stopped him. We didn't let you train because we didn't want you to get hurt. And you are not as strong as your sister, you don't have huge chakra reserves like she or I do, said Kushina, but she just realized this last sentence was a poor choice of words. So you think I am weak, don't you? What a surprise. And I thought only my father and Jiraiya thought I am weak. Thanks for the information, said Naruto, and he went to his room, but Kushina stopped him again. Naruto, please listen to me. We will train you for the finals. But I would be happier if you stopped being a shinobi after the exams, said Kushina, and Naruto looked at her like she just grew another head. You want me to stop being a shinobi because I am disgrace to our family? Asked Naruto. No, of course not. It's just I want to protect you from the harsh world of the shinobis, said Kushina with a sad smile. Then you want me to stop being a shinobi because you think I am weak and a disgrace to our family, and your stupid excuse for this is that you want to protect me. Please don't make me laugh. You should use this excuse for Yumi too, said Naruto. Yumi has to be a shinobi, because that's the only solution for her. Only shinobi training can help her control the fox's chakra, said Kushina, but Naruto wasn't touched. Think what you want. I won't stop being a shinobi. And now if you excuse me, I want to rest, said Naruto and went into his room. Wait, I still want to ask about that scythe and those tattoos, said Kushina. I told everything to father, ask him, said Naruto. Then he closed his bedroom's door, leaving Kushina without answers, and because she wanted to know it she went to Minato immediately. What they didn't know, Yumi was there and heard everything. She smiled because her mother made sure what she assumed. Even Kushina thought Naruto was weak and he shouldn't have become a shinobi. Kushina ran to Minato's office, and she found him in his office doing the paperwork. Kushina asked about the scythe and the tattoos. Minato told her what Naruto told him, and he added that he thought he was lying. However, Kushina wasn't surprised. They pushed Naruto away because Yumi's training took too much of their time. Minato, he doesn't trust us, of course he is lying, said Kushina. Kushina, you know what we did wasn't intentional. Yumi's training only took too much time and didn't leave any time for us to care about Naruto too, said Minato. I know we had to do this, but maybe it would have been better if we showed him something that could help him, said Kushina. It was you who wanted that Naruto wouldn't become a shinobi. So don't blame me, I didn't show him anything, said Minato with some anger. I don't blame you. I hoped he would give up by himself if he saw we didn't want to train him. I was wrong and now he is, said Kushina, but she couldn't finish the sentence. I know, I just hope he isn't the one who Jiraiya talked about, said Minato, maybe a little too loud. Wait. What did Jiraiya tell you? Asked Kushina. The Toad Sage had a vision. He saw a boy with a scythe who was killing everybody. He said he was the death itself, but he said also the vision was incomplete, said Minato. And you think Naruto is the one who the sage saw? It can't be Naruto, he doesn't have this kind of power, said Kushina, trying to refuse that her son would become a monster. After what we saw on his match, I would keep my eyes on him, said Minato, but Kushina still refused it. I don't believe this. I won't accept that my son will become the one who will destroy the world, said Kushina, but Minato only shocked his head. We can't be sure. But it would be better if we took his scythe, said Minato, but Kushina didn't agree with him. If we do this he will hate us more, and he will really think we want to keep him weak, said Kushina. Then what should we do? Asked Minato, who had no idea what would be the good choice. I already promised him we will train him, so I will train him, said Kushina, but Minato shocked his head. I am sorry, but you have to train Yumi because I will be too busy to organize the finals, said Minato, and Kushina wasn't happy when she heard this. Then who will train Naruto, because I am sure his sensei wouldn't do it, said Kushina, and Minato thought about it for a minute. Jiraiya will train him. I will call him back and by tonight he will be here and tomorrow morning they can start. Moreover, he can keep an eye on Naruto, said Minato, and Kushina wanted to argue, but she saw in Minato's eyes he wouldn't change his mind. Fine. But I still try to make amends with him, said Kushina, and Minato nodded. Then Kushina went home to make dinner. Minato immediately summoned a toad and said to him to find Jiraiya and tell him he had to come back. The toad nodded and then went to find Jiraiya. Fortunately, the toad found him very soon and Jiraiya returned by night. When he returned, Minato told him what happened to Naruto, and he was afraid he was the one who the sage saw in his vision. So Minato told him he had to train Naruto for finals and he had to keep an eye on him and collect as much information as much he could. Jiraiya agreed, then went to prepare a training regimen for Naruto. After Jiraiya left, Minato saw it was time to go home because the dinner was ready by this time. When he arrived, he saw Kushina was about serving the food. She asked him to call Yumi and Naruto, and he nodded. Yumi, Naruto, come down, the dinner is ready, said Minato, and Yumi ran down with great speed, while Naruto took his time and walked. It took him a minute to reach the dining room, and when he sat down everybody started to eat. What they noticed immediately, Naruto didn't wear a shirt, so they saw his tattoos. Naruto, why don't you wear a shirt? Asked Kushina, and Naruto stopped the eating for a moment. It is more comfortable like this, said Naruto, and continued the eating. Naruto, I talked to Jiraiya and he said he would be happy to train you for the finals, said Minato with a smile. I don't need him, I will train alone. He can train Yumi, said Naruto, and he continued the eating again. But Naruto, you will need somebody to teach you. Right now you don't have any chance against your sister. Jiraiya could help you. Maybe you won't win, but maybe you will be promoted, said Minato, but Naruto didn't even listen to him. You hear that, and Ai-chan, they don't believe you have a chance against me, said Yumi with a smug smile. Yumi, don't be rude. Apologize immediately, said Kushina with a serious tone. But before Yumi could apologize, Naruto stood up because he finished his dinner and went to the sink to wash his dish. When he finished, he started to walk back to his room, but Minato stopped him for a moment with a question. Naruto, wait. What about the training? Asked Minato. Like I said, I don't need any of you, or your training, said Naruto. Then he looked at Yumi, then he smiled at her like a mad person, and for some reason Yumi started to get scared. We will see who is the stronger, my dear sister, said Naruto, and left to his room. I will beat the crap out of him for this. Dad, I want to train with you in this month non-stop, said Yumi with anger. Sorry Yumi, but I will be busy, so your mother will train you, said Minato, and Yumi snorted. Fine, said Yumi with some disappointment. Then she finished her dinner too, then went to bed. Minato and Kushina finished their dinner, then went to bed too. The next morning Minato, Kushina and Yumi were eating their breakfast when Jiraiya came. Good morning, Minato. I came to take Naruto for his training, said Jiraiya, and Minato nodded and let him inside. Naruto, wake up. Jiraiya is here to take you out to train, shouted Minato, but Naruto didn't responded. So Minato tried again, but the answer didn't came. So he went to his room. When he was in front of his room, he saw a note. It said he went out to train, he would be back by dinner. Minato told Jiraiya what happened and he nodded, then left to find Naruto. Naruto used the transformation technique to get some scrolls about scythe fighting styles from library. Then went to an empty training ground to master them. He trained for a few hours when Jiraiya appeared behind him. It isn't easy to find you. So are you ready for the training? Asked Jiraiya. Naruto stopped his training and turned to him. What do you want, perverse voyeur? Asked Naruto, and Jiraiya was a little surprised because nobody called him voyeur before. I am here to train you, because your parents asked me, said Jiraiya, but Naruto turned again and showed his back to him. I am fine alone. Leave you disturb my training, said Naruto, and wanted to continue his training, but Jiraiya interrupted him. Wait a minute, Naruto. I came from very far to train you. You should appreciate that one of the legendary Sannin wants to train you, so I will not leave until my journey is paid off, said Jiraiya, but Naruto wasn't touched. Not far from here there is a hot spring. Go and enjoy yourself and your journey is paid off, said Naruto, and Jiraiya felt a little offended. Why don't you want to be trained by me or your parents? Asked Jiraiya, because he realized he had to change tactic to collect information from Naruto. You didn't want to train me before, so I learned how to train myself. So I don't need you. But anyway, you wouldn't train me anyway. Isn't your research more important than I am? Asked Naruto, and Jiraiya didn't understand what he was talking about. I don't know what you are talking about, said Jiraiya. Then let me jog your memory. Look onto my tattoo and face your sins, said Naruto, and Jiraiya thought he was joking. He looked at the tattoo and suddenly he felt like he was sucked in. Flashback. It is like when Dante faces his sins. Jiraiya was in the hot spring and looked through a little hole and watched the naked women. He knew this day was perfect when suddenly somebody called him. Jiraiya-ji-chan, shouted the 5-year-old Naruto. Jiraiya looked at him and asked him, I'm Naruto, right? What do you want? I am in the middle of a very important researching, said Jiraiya. Jiraiya-ji-chan, Mom and Dad don't want to train me to become a powerful shinobi. Can you train me? Asked Naruto with a hopeful smile, but Jiraiya only sighed. Sorry, Naruto, but what I am doing right now is more important than your training. Your parents will train you when they think you are ready or whatever. Now go, said Jiraiya, and he was about to continue when, but Ji-chan, how can it be that looking at naked lad is more important than training me? I want to be strong to protect the village and show everybody I'm worth something, said Naruto, and he was about to cry, but Jiraiya had enough. It is more important than you are, you spoiled little brat. Don't you understand that my fans is waiting for my new book? Moreover, your parents don't want to train you because you are talentless for the shinobi arts. Moreover, you are not as important as Yumi is. Now go and don't interrupt me again, shouted Jiraiya, and Naruto started to cry and ran away. Stupid brat. He is stupid or brave to interrupt me when I am doing my research, said Jiraiya, but when he turned he saw a mob of angry women. They weren't very happy about that he peeped on them, so they beat the crap out of him. When they finished, Jiraiya cursed Naruto. Flashback end. Jiraiya woke up from the memory jogging. He was panted and sweating, then suddenly collapsed on his knees. He looked up at Naruto and saw his face. He smiled at him like he smiled at Yumi. You smell from the sin of lust. You sinned against me because your so-called research was more important than your godson. I would kill you, but right now I am not strong enough. But I promise you I will kill everybody who sinned against me. Even my dear sister is an exception, said Naruto, and he was about to leave Jiraiya. Oh, and next time don't disturb my training, said Naruto, then left Jiraiya alone. Jiraiya got himself together, then went to Minato to tell him what he learned. When Jiraiya told him what Naruto did, he couldn't imagine what kind of power Naruto had. Maybe he used some kind of genjutsu, said Minato, but Jiraiya shook his head. I don't think so. I didn't feel any chakra from him. Whatever he used is beyond our understanding. That's why I asked you, took that scythe away from him and check him with a Yamanaka, said Jiraiya. You think the fox's soul did something? Asked Minato. I am not sure, because I didn't check his seal, but it would be better if we did that too, said Jiraiya, and nodded. You are right. It is for everyone's safety, said Minato, and called an ANBU agent to find Naruto. An hour later the ANBU agent returned without Naruto. I am sorry, Hokage-sama, but I couldn't find him, said the agent. What? He couldn't just disappear. Continue the searching, ordered Minato. Hi, Hokage-sama, said the agent, then he teleported away. What do you think, Jiraiya? Asked Minato. I am afraid it is Naruto who the sage saw in his vision, and that scythe gave him some kind of dark power which we never heard before, said Jiraiya, and Minato looked down. And what should we? Asked Minato, and this time Jiraiya looked down. I only see 3 options right now, said Jiraiya, and Minato looked at Jiraiya, then he started to list them. The first option is that we take away the scythe and look up Naruto until we have a better understanding on the scythe. And of course we made sure the fox didn't influence Naruto, said Jiraiya. The second is we tried to find something that make him forget about his revenge against everybody who sinned against him, like he said Jiraiya, and Minato nodded. And the third option? Asked Minato, who hoped it wasn't that he thought it was. I think you know the third option, said Jiraiya, and Minato looked down again. Killing Naruto, isn't it? Asked Minato, and Jiraiya nodded. Yes, but I would put this option away until we learn the rest of the vision and that if there is a connection to the prophecy, said Jiraiya, and Minato nodded again. Now I go and try to find some information about that scythe in the library. Somebody has to know about it, said Jiraiya, and Minato laughed a little. You and the library aren't compatible, sensei, said Minato. Well, I have to be open for new experiences, said Jiraiya, then left. Minato continued the paperwork while he waited the ANBU agent. Unfortunately, they didn't find Naruto, only a few notes that said he would be back for the finals, so nobody saw Naruto in this month. But now the time for preparing for the finals is finished, and the finalists are in the arena to show everyone how powerful they are. There was almost everybody: Gaara, Dosu, Kabuto, Kankuro, Temari, Shikamaru, Neji, and Yumi. Only Naruto and Sasuke were missed. Then Minato signed to Genma to start it. Welcome everyone, my name is Shirani Genma, and I will be the referee for the Chunin exam finals. I would like the first two fighters to step out, Namikaze Yumi and Uzumaki Naruto. The others leave the arena ground, said Genma, and Yumi stepped out and smiled smugly while the others left. Then suddenly Naruto jumped in from the tallest building of the arena. Everybody was stunned how somebody could survive this. Naruto smiled at her sister, then said, I hope you are ready, my dear sister, because I will crush you today. Chapter 3, Naruto vs. Yumi. Before Naruto arrived, in the grandstand, Naruto's former classmates who didn't win in the preliminary matches were sitting next to each other in the first row. Inside were Sakura, next to her was Ino, then Chuji. Next to Chuji was Shino, then Kiba, and finally Hinata. They saw everybody except Sasuke and Naruto. Do you think Naruto and Sasuke will appear before the matches? Asked Chuji while he ate his snacks. Sasuke-kun will be here and show all these losers he is the strongest. And that baka. Who cares if he is here or not? He would only embarrass the village. Anyway, he is just a monster. Didn't you see what he did to that genin in the preliminary matches? Said Sakura, and Ino would agree with her in most cases, but she started to think in the last month about Naruto. I am sure Sasuke-kun will be here. But I don't know what to think about Naruto. He wasn't like this before. Sure, he was weak and all, but he never was this cruel and sadist. Something must have happened in the forest to change this much, said Ino, and the others started to think about this. Oh, come on, Ino. He only shows his real colors. You know that everybody hates him because he is monster, a demon, said Sakura, who was convinced she was right. And what kind of monster are we talking about? Why is he a monster? Asked Shino with a monotone tone. Well, maybe you didn't see his fight, but he killed that genin with cold blood, that makes him a monster, said Sakura. Then if it is true, then all of our parents are monsters because they killed in the last war, said Shino. That's not the same. They were forced to kill, but Naruto wasn't, screamed Sakura. It is totally same, Sakura. In a fight you kill or you will be killed. Naruto chose to kill instead of being killed, said Shino, but Sakura couldn't agree with him. But Shino continued, and what about the times before he became what he is now? That time I hardly could call him a monster. When we saw him in the park, or in the academy, or when he just walked in the streets, I never saw a monster, said Shino, but Sakura had started to had enough of him. He was a monster that time too. He was a monster all of his life. My parents said he was the reason my grandparents died, and a lot of other people too, said Sakura. As far as I know, your grandparents died when the Kyuubi attacked the village. So following your logic, you think a newborn baby killed your grandparents. Then you said he was a monster all of his life even if he didn't do anything bad against us, said Shino, but Sakura wasn't convinced. But Shino continued, when I saw Naruto I only saw a lonely boy without friends but not a monster, said Shino. So tell me, Sakura, if you are so clever like you claim you are, how can a lonely and untrained boy be a monster? Asked Shino, and this time Sakura couldn't come up with anything, but she knew she had to say something or they would think she is stupid. He is a monster, and that's my last word. You can say whatever you want, Shino, said Sakura, and Shino only shocked his head. Well, at least you tried to reason with her, said Kiba. Then he heard a little coughing. He turned to Hinata and saw she was coughing. Are you alright, Hinata? Asked Kiba, and Hinata nodded. Yes, I am. Just give me a minute to calm down, said Hinata, and started to take deep breaths. Are you worried about Naruto? Asked Kiba, and Hinata nodded. Don't worry, he will be here, and then you can talk to him, said Kiba, and Hinata nodded again. The truth is, after Hinata woke up in the hospital, she wanted to thank Naruto saving her life. But when she looked for him, he didn't find him. She even went to the Namikaze residence, but Kushina could only said he was out training and he would be back by the finals. However, besides saying thank you, she wanted to talk to him about what he said to Neji, and tried to become his friend. Because Hinata thought if Naruto had somebody who he could talk or somebody who was willing to listen to him, he would be the old himself again, the one who saved her from the bullies. I hope Naruto will come and after the exam I will thank him and fix my mistakes with him. But I don't know what he meant about I sinned. Never mind, I will fix everything, I don't care if I will be branded. Thought Hinata. So Hinata? Asked Kiba and Hinata turned to him. Yes, what is it? Asked Hinata. Will you confess to Naruto besides saying thanks saving your life? Asked Kiba and Hinata blushed madly. Kiba-kun, how can you ask me something like this? Said Hinata while she blushed. Sorry, I was just curious. Said Kiba. I don't understand what you see in that good-for-nothing monster. If I were you I would confess to Sasuke-kun. Said Sakura. Sakura, if we want to hear your opinion we ask you. Said Shino with the same monotone voice. But before she could say something Naruto appeared in the arena. Well, look at this, Naruto came. But where did he come from? Asked Kiba. He just jumped in from one of the roofs. Said Chuji. That's impossible, he would break his legs. Said Kiba. Well, maybe he isn't as weak as you thought, Sakura. Said Shino and Sakura only snorted. He isn't as strong as Sasuke-kun or Yumi. I would bet even I could defeat him. Said Sakura with a smug smile. Then how can it be that you are up here and he is down there? Asked Hinata this time and the others chuckled on Sakura. Before Naruto arrived, in the Kage grandstand, Minato and Kushina sat next to each other and waited for the two Kages. The first is Raza the 4th Kazekage and the second is Inoki the 3rd Tsuchikage. However, they didn't know it wasn't Raza but Orochimaru who killed Raza and disguised himself as the Kazekage to kill Minato and destroy Konoha. Inoki only came because he heard that one of finalists is the one who killed one of the IWA teams who came for the exam, and he wanted to know more about him. While Minato and Kushina waited for them, they talked about the last month. So what do you think? Will Yumi beat Naruto? Asked Minato. I don't know. Yumi became stronger but we don't know anything about Naruto and his training. I still can't believe he could force Jiraiya on his knees, said Kushina and Minato nodded. I can't either, but like Jiraiya said, Naruto stated that he wasn't strong enough to defeat him. He only surprised him. Said Minato. Did he find anything about that scythe? Asked Kushina, but Minato shook his head. He didn't find anything. Whatever that weapon is, we don't know anything about it, which brings up two options. Said Minato. What are these options? Asked Kushina. The first is that this weapon is something new so nobody saw it before or something so old that there isn't any notes about it. Said Minato and Kushina nodded. Do you really think Naruto is the one who the sage saw in his vision? Asked Kushina with a quiet tone. I am afraid so. Answered Minato. What will we do? Asked Kushina and Minato scraped his head. Firstly, I don't want to use drastic measures. Maybe we can change the vision if we change Naruto. Said Minato. And how do you want to do that? With seals? Asked Kushina a little louder. No, at least not yet. We find somebody for him. He is teenager so he started to notice the girls. Said Minato and this made Kushina think. Do you remember that girl? What was her name? Hinata. Hyuga Hayashi's daughter. She interested about Naruto during the last month, because she wanted to thank him saving her life. Maybe she can convince Naruto, said Kushina with a smile because she thought she found the solution. Hayashi would never agree but you can try. Said Minato. Then they continued this conversation until the other two Kages arrived. Minato and Kushina stood up and welcomed them. Kazekage Dano, Tsuchikage Dano. I am very happy you are here. Said Minato with a false smile. We are happy to be here, Hokage Dano. Said the Kazekage who hid his face. Neglect the useless welcome party, I only came to see the one who killed one of my genin teams. Said Inoki and then Minato frowned without Inoki's notice. You will see him. Please sit down and enjoy the final exam. Said Minato and the Kazekage nodded then sat down while Inoki snorted then sat down too. After this Minato signed for Genma to start it. Then a minute later Naruto appeared. He didn't change much, maybe he was a little taller. So your son will fight against your daughter. It is quite interesting, wouldn't you say? Asked Inoki and Minato nodded. I hoped we could avoid it but I trust my children won't kill each other. Said Minato and then they watched the start of the final part of the exam. After Naruto arrived, in the arena, Yumi stared at her brother then started to laugh at his statement like he just said a joke. You will crush me? Me? Don't make me laugh, Anai-chan, everyone knows you were the weakest from our class when we graduated. And I was the strongest, and I trained like a man in the last month. You have no chance defeating me. You will be lucky to survive 1 minute against me, said Yumi but Naruto pretended he was sleeping. And this made Yumi pretty pissed. Oh sorry, did you say something? I was just about taking a nap. Said Naruto and this made Yumi more pissed. That's it. I had enough of you. Referee, start the match. I want to break out all of his teeth. Said Yumi and Genma saw it would be better to start this before she did something that everybody would regret. Alright, if both of you are ready you can start. Said Genma then jumped back to give them space to fight. Yumi didn't wait, she bit her thumb and started doing hand signs. Kuchios no Jutsu. Shouted Yumi and hit her hand on the ground and suddenly a red toad appeared. He was 2 meters high and wore some armors on his arms and had 2 katanas. Yumi hopped on his head. Alright Gamasai, please show my brother who is the strongest here. Said Yumi and the toad nodded. As you wish, mistress, said Gamasai and jumped in front of Naruto to attack him, but Naruto evaded, then retreated a few meters. But the toad didn't give him time to recover. He attacked again, and Naruto evaded his attacks again. They did that a few minutes, but Yumi realized this tactic wouldn't work, so she retreated to come up with a new plan. Why don't you attack? You are only evading. If you are so strong like you claim, then prove it, said Yumi, trying to piss him off because she thought he would make a great mistake if he was angry. Oh, don't worry, my dear sister, I will show you my new power, said Naruto, then put his palms together like he was praying. Oh, fearless monster that serves the demons of hell, hear my call and come forward, said Naruto while he made some hand signs, and Yumi looked at her like he had gone mad. Kuchios no Jutsu, Asterian Beast, shouted Naruto, then a huge monster appeared. It was pitch black and looked like a hybrid from a gorilla and a crocodile. He had big and sharp claws and teeth. They looked like they were made of steel. When it screamed, Naruto hopped on his head and connected his scythe's blade to its head, then the monster suddenly became tamed. Fire, said Naruto, and the beast started to shout fire from its mouth. Gamasai was fast and jumped back to evade the fire. Gamasai, do you know what is that? Asked Yumi. I have no idea, mistress. I have never seen a creature like that before, said Gamasai, and Yumi started to panic because she was against something which she has never heard or saw before. Any idea how can we defeat it? Asked Yumi, but the toad shocked his head. I don't know. Maybe water-type jutsus would work, but I only know wind-type jutsus to help you out, if you remember, said Gamasai, and Yumi cursed herself. They have to learn other types of jutsus after the exam. When she thought about this, Gamasai evaded a second fireball from the beast. Think, Yumi, think. There has to be a way to defeat that thing, thought Yumi. While Yumi and Naruto fought, Minato, Kushina, Inoki the Tsuchikage, and Orochimaru, who disguised himself as the Kazekage, watched the match with curious eyes. Orochimaru smiled like a man under the mask because he started to become more and more interested in Naruto. I have to say your son is very impressive, Hokage Dano. You must have trained him a lot, said the Kazekage. Oh well, I don't want to praise myself too much, but it isn't just my excellence. Naruto is a prodigy when it is about shinobi arts, lied Minato, trying to show he was the one who trained Naruto. And what is that monster your son used right now? I have never seen a creature like that before, asked Inoki with concern and anger. I am sorry, but it is classified information, Tsuchikage Dano, said Minato with the same tone. While the Kages talked about the match, Naruto's former classmates did the same. They were impressed and terrified in the same time. What the hell is that thing? Shino, do you have any idea? Asked Kiba with some fear. Even Akamaru climbed inside Kiba's jacket in his fear. I don't know, but whatever it is, it makes my queen to be afraid of it, said Shino, and Kiba started to become more afraid. See, Shino? Only a monster can summon another monster, stated Sakura while she tried to hide her own fear. Would you shut up, Sakura, because if you won't I will feed you with that thing, shouted Hinata. Then she started to cough again. Sakura, you just shut up, and Hinata, don't stress yourself. You aren't healed completely yet, said Kiba, and Hinata nodded. Back in the arena, Yumi, who was on the top of Gamasai, evaded the fireballs, but Gamasai started to run out of chakra. Mistress, you have to do something, because I am running out of chakra, said the toad, and Yumi gritted her teeth, because she still didn't find the answer. But then she suddenly saw where the scythe was. She remembered Naruto connected it to the monster, and after that the monster was tamed. Gamasai, I have an idea, but you will be sent home, said Yumi, and the toad nodded. It is all right, I am almost out of chakra, said the toad. Then Yumi told him to jump above him. The toad did what Yumi ordered and jumped above him, and he started to fly to Beast. The Beast's reaction was to use another fireball. The fireball hit the toad and it was sent home, but Yumi jumped off of him. Now Yumi flew towards Naruto, and when she was close enough she kicked him down with his scythe from the Beast. Naruto understood her tactic and did the best thing he could. He sent the Beast back to the hell. So I was right, said Yumi after she landed on the ground. Why was you right, my dear sister? Asked Naruto when he landed too. You could only control that monster if your scythe is connected to its head, or am I wrong? Asked Yumi with a smug smile, but Naruto only laughed. You know it is not easy to control monsters from the hell, but you only saw the first one from 3 monsters I can control. But I won't summon them because they could level the whole village in a few minutes, said Naruto, and Yumi and everybody else's eyes widened by this statement. You are bluffing. There isn't anything that could do such a thing, shouted Yumi in her anger. And how do you know? You just fought a monster that you have never heard or saw before, said Naruto while he snickered. In the Kage's grandstand everybody was surprised and for some reason they trembled. The Kazekage and Inoki turned to Minato, who tried to hide his fear and show that he knew everything about Naruto and his power. Is that true, Hokage? Does that boy can control monsters which can destroy a village within minutes? Asked Inoki with fear in his voice. Well, I am not sure if they can destroy a village within a few minutes, but they can destroy a big part of the village if the attack is well organized, lied Minato, but this lie didn't help too much. First time it was you, and now your son has the power to destroy whole villages. Why am I not surprised? Asked Inoki with anger. Calm down, Tsuchikage Dano. I am sure the Hokage wouldn't use such things, right, Hokage Dano? asked the Kazekage. Of course. We wouldn't kill innocent people just to show our power, said Minato, trying to calm Inoki down. But it didn't help. In the arena, Naruto and Yumi continued the fight. Right now Yumi took out a katana and she tried to defeat his brother with that. During the last month Kushina started to teach her kenjutsu. She was far to be a master, but she was good with it. While Naruto learned some side styles, he was the same like her sister with her katana. Both of them fought with their every might, but none of them could make a finishing strike. They fought at least 5 minutes and Naruto started to run out of chakra, because he had smaller reserves than Yumi. What's the matter, Enai-chan? Are you tired? But we only started, said Yumi, then started to laugh. Naruto didn't like this, and he used his advanced speed and made a few powerful swings which made Yumi to retreat. When she could retreat far enough from Naruto, she saw he made a few injuries on her. Is it better, my dear sister? Asked Naruto, and this only made Yumi madder. You know what, I had enough of you. I will be totally run out of chakra after this jutsu, but I don't care, because after this you will disappear forever, said Yumi, and started to call Kurama's chakra to use her new jutsu. She started to concentrate the chakra in an orb and then she shrunk it. When Minato saw this, he wanted to stop her, but it was too late now, because she was ready. Naruto, she will use my chakra. I would suggest running, shouted Kurama in Naruto's head. Don't worry, everything is in its place. I have one, said Naruto. Then he saw Yumi's jutsu. Say bye-bye, Enai-chan. Bija beam, shouted Yumi, and she sent an enormous chakra beam on Naruto. Naruto only smiled when the beam hit him. Yumi gave a little more chakra to it, and when Naruto stood, the ground exploded. A minute later Yumi stopped, and the only thing she saw was a crater where she concentrated the beam, where Naruto stopped. Most of the audience couldn't say a word for a minute, but then they started to cheer for Yumi, who killed the so-called demon. While Yumi's former classmates had similar, and yet different opinions. Ha 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 ha, I knew he was a weakling. Good work, Yumi. Because you killed him, I will ask Sasuke-kun to be your second wife, because I will be the first one, shouted Sakura with a huge smile. Ino couldn't come up with a reaction. She was a little sad, but a little happy too, she couldn't decide it. Chuji was sad because he thought Naruto was a good person. Shino showed his everyday expression, but he knew something was off because the queen was still afraid, just like Akamaru. Kiba didn't know what to say. He was similar to Shino. He thought also that something was off because of Akamaru. But it was Hinata whom brain just shut down. She couldn't accept the fact that Naruto died. No, it can't be. He can't be dead, shouted Hinata with full power. Then she started to cry. See, Hinata. He was a total weakling, a good-for-nothing monster. But now he paid for everything he has ever done, said Sakura while she laughed. No, no, no. I know he is alive, said Hinata, while Shino and Kiba tried to calm her down. It is all right, Hinata. Let it out, said Kiba while he hugged her to calm her down. I know he is alive, whispered Hinata. While in the Kage grandstand, Minato couldn't decide to be happy or to be sad. He wanted to be happy because if Naruto died, then the vision the sage saw was no more. However, he should be sad because his son just died. Next to him Kushina cried, then stood up and wanted to go down to see if her son really died. Kushina, stop, shouted Minato. I want to go down, said Kushina. Wait until Yumi is called the winner, said Minato. But our son just died. Maybe there is nothing left from him. And you say I have to wait, shouted Kushina the last part. While they fought with each other, down in the arena Yumi was exhausted like never before. She barely could walk to the crater. Ha ha ha, see brother, I am the strongest. And now I win. Referee, my opponent is dead. So report it, ordered Yumi, and because Genma didn't see Naruto he didn't much of a choice. Because Uzumaki Naruto died, the winner is, said Genma, but suddenly a loud laughing interrupted him. Yumi turned to the crater and saw the rocks were moving. A minute later Naruto stood up. He was bloody, full of injuries, his clothes were torn and his armor were deficient or damaged. When Yumi looked at him she smiled. In the ground stand Hinata was still crying, but then Kiba called her. Hinata, look at his Naruto, he is still alive, said Kiba, and Hinata slowly looked down and saw a bloody and injured Naruto. She held her arms to her mouth in her fear. My God! He is barely alive, said Hinata while she continued the crying, but this time they for joy. We have to stop the match or Yumi will kill him, said Hinata. Oh, for God's sake. Hinata, let her kill him. Everything would be better without him, said Sakura, who couldn't believe that Naruto could survive this. Sakura, we told you to shut up, said Kiba. Hinata, we can't stop the match. If we did that he would be angry at us, said Shino, and Hinata realized he was right and nodded. In the Kage grandstand nobody could believe in their eyes. Naruto survived an attack like that. Orochimaru's interest just skyrocketed, while Inoki was afraid because she couldn't believe that a human could survive a Bijou attack. Minato still couldn't decide if he should be happy or sad. Happy because his son is alive, or sad because the sage's vision isn't destroyed. However, Kushina was happy because his son survived, and right now she was sure she would take him out from the shinobi program. Your son is incredible, Hokage Dano. To survive an attack like that, he is very powerful, said the Kazekage. Well, yes he is, But I hoped my daughter wouldn't use that jutsu. After the exam I will talk to her about this, said Minato. But let's return to the arena. So you survived. I have to say I am impressed. But look at yourself. You have no chance against me. Maybe I have barely enough chakra to do one Rasengan, but it is more than enough to defeat you. So you should just give up, said Yumi, but Naruto laughed. Why should I? You just gave me the chance to defeat you, said Naruto, and Yumi looked at him like he'd just gone mad. How could you win? You look like you just came back from the hell, shouted Yumi. Well, why don't I show you then? Said Naruto. Then he made a few hand signs. Undivine armor, shouted Naruto. Then black wings appeared on his back and some dark energy surrounded him. But for her surprise his injuries started to heal, the blood disappeared from his body, even his clothes and armor were fixed. A minute later Naruto was like he was new, however the wings didn't disappear. How is this possible? How could you heal yourself this quick? Only Bija Chakra could do this, but you can't have that. But then how? It doesn't matter, maybe you healed yourself but you are still tired, so you are not much nearer to win against me, shouted Yumi. However Naruto laughed again. You know the original technique's name was Divine Armor. The technique would heal you and protect you from stronger attacks. But I modified a little, said Naruto, and this only made Yumi angry. How could a loser like you modify a technique? And what did you modify? Shouted Yumi. Instead of protecting me against stronger attacks I regained half of my chakra, said Naruto, and Yumi's eyes widened when she heard that. Everybody else was stunned when they heard what this technique can do. However, there was a big catch. Naruto can activate this technique once per day. The fact is, during the last month Naruto realized he had not just chakra in him but something which he called mana, and to use the Undivine Armor he had to use all of his mana, and it needs a whole day to be reloaded. And now, in the first time in her life, Yumi started to tremble because Naruto started to walk to her with his insane smile. Well then, my dear little sister, let's continue, said Naruto, and took out his scythe. Yumi tried to run away but she was too tired. Naruto tripped her with his scythe, then he grabbed her and threw her to the ground. He did this for a few more times, then he started to hit her with the end of his scythe. When he was bored with that he made a few slash on her. He continued to torture her until she was bloody, full of injuries, and her clothes were torn. She tried to crawl away but Naruto grabbed her and turned her so she could look in his eyes. Please stop. It hurts. It hurts so much, said Yumi, and she started to cry. I think you had enough, but before we finish it, face your sins, said Naruto, and Yumi unconsciously looked on the tattoos and she was sucked in. Flashback. The 6-year-old Yumi was training in the garden. Right now she practiced her taijutsu when Naruto walked up to her. He was sad but Yumi had better things to do than console her brother. Hi Nachan. Can we talk? Asked Naruto. I am busy. Maybe later, said Yumi while she continued the practice. It would be important, said Naruto. Fine. What do you want? Asked Yumi with an irritated tone. Well, because nobody wants to train me, I thought maybe you could show me something, said Naruto with a hopeful smile. And why would I do that? Asked Yumi. Because we are siblings. And the siblings help each other out, said Naruto, but Yumi only laughed at him. What is so funny? Asked Naruto with an angry tone. That you would actually believe I would train you, said Yumi while she laughed. But we are siblings, said Naruto. So what? I have to train to be strong and to protect this village. We are not going to need you, Naruto. The village only needs me. Moreover, you don't have the same amount of chakra which I have. So you would only slow me down. Do you understand it now? You are useless, a nobody. And now leave and don't you dare interrupt me again, shouted Yumi, and Naruto ran away with tears in his eyes. Flashback end. Yumi returned and now she cried more than ever. I'm sorry, I am so sorry. Please don't hurt me, said Yumi while she cried. You smell of the sin of pride and vain. I should kill you right now, said Naruto, and he held up his scythe. No, please don't. I give up, shouted Yumi with full power to alert Genma. Namake's Yumi gave up. The winner is Uzumaki Naruto, shouted Genma, but nobody cheered for him. However, Naruto was angry. Fine. I will let you live for now. But I will give you something that will remind you I defeated you and I am stronger than you are, said Naruto, and the scythe's handle disappeared, then the blade connected to his arm. Now don't move. I want to make it perfect, said Naruto with an evil smile, then he cut a cross inside her cheek. Only Naruto has whiskers. She screamed, but a minute later Naruto let her go. Naruto went to the competitors' grandstands and some medic shinobis came to take Yumi to the hospital. While they carried, she repeated the same sentence, I am sorry. Then the exam finals continued. Chapter 4. Gaara vs. Naruto. Naruto walked back to the competitors' grandstand after he tortured and humiliated his sister, Yumi. While he walked up, his wings disappeared. In the grandstand where a lot of people watched the match couldn't believe that the so-called demon was able to defeat their so-called hero. After a minute they realized this and started to boo. They demanded a new match or disqualification for Naruto. A lot of people shouted he cheated and a lot of other things. The problem is that in the shinobi world there is no such thing like cheating. And everybody knows that everything is fair in love and war. Most of Naruto's former classmates were happy he won, but they were terrified because of the method he used to win. I can't believe that Naruto have won, said Kiba with surprise. Indeed, it is a surprise. But he shouldn't have tortured her, said Shino with his monotone voice. That's why he is monster. He tortured poor Yumi, while she never did anything against him. He should be thrown into a cell to rot away. And that technique he used to defeat Yumi was a total cheat move, said Sakura, who apparently loved hearing her own voice. I agree that he should learn some control on his emotions, and a therapist would do some good. But Sakura, you know there are no cheat moves in the shinobi world, said Ino. Of course there are. A technique that can recharge half of your chakra and heal all of your injuries. It is totally a cheat move, said Sakura a little louder. It isn't. It only showed how much Naruto was stronger than Yumi was because he could learn such a strong technique in a very short time, said Hinata, who was now really angry at Sakura. Oh, shut up, you demon lover hussy. Nobody cares what you think. We all know you would do anything to carry that monster's little bastards. I would bet you already do, said Sakura with an evil smile. Hinata didn't like this and tried to hit her, but Kiba and Shino stopped her. Hinata tried to escape from her teammate's hold, but suddenly a cough attack came to Hinata. Kiba and Shino sat her back and gave her some water. A few minutes later she was better. Calm down, Hinata. Take some deep breaths and drink some more water. Don't think about what Sakura said. She isn't right, and she would sooner open her legs for the Uchiha than you could say Naruto-kun, said Kiba, and Hinata giggled a little. What did you say, you mutt? Screamed Sakura so loud that you could even heard it from the heaven. The truth? Said Kiba, and Sakura screamed again like the banshee she is. In the Kage groundstand everybody was stunned by Naruto's performance. Orochimaru was very interested now, especially because of the last technique that Naruto used, the Undivine Armor. He imagined he could reach new highs if he learned this technique. But the three monsters he could control aren't too bad either. Inoki was stunned and started to tremble, because after Minato, who was the Yellow Flash, here was his son, Naruto, who could become the next Yellow Flash, if not worse. Inoki knew he had to do something or his village and his country would be heavily overpowered by Konoha in a few years. Minato was terrified. His son could defeat Yumi, whom training was started when she was 4 years old. And in the last 8 years she was trained like there was no tomorrow. And Naruto only started his training when he was 8 years old, and his training was the bare minimum. By this time he would be a low genin, with luck mid-genin. But now his power is equal with a high Chunin, or maybe higher because he didn't show his full power. Minato knew he had to stop Naruto, or the vision the sage saw would become true. Kushina was happy that Naruto survived Yumi's attack but was terrified when she saw his son tortured his own sister. Kushina realized she pushed so far his son that now she couldn't recognize him. In her mind Naruto was a little boy who wanted some attention, but he had a good heart. But now she only see a cruel and sadist man who enjoyed when he could hurt someone. She had to stop this. There was no other options. Hokage-dano. I have to admit I haven't seen a shinobi like your son before. He is strong and used your daughter's tactic against her when he forced her to use that beam. That shows he can come up with a plan when it is needed. However, it was very reckless and dangerous idea from him. There was a very little chance he would survive. To sum everything up, I would say he is a Chunin material. But I would like to see his performance on the other matches before I decide permanently, said the Kazekage, and the Hokage nodded. Then Minato turned to Inoki. I agree with the Kazekage, said Inoki, who was still trying to come up with an idea. Well, I have to agree with you, Kazekage-dano. You summed it up perfectly, said Minato. Then he signed Genma to continue. Will Gaara and Uchiha Sasuke come down for the next match? Said Genma, and Gaara appeared by a sand body flicker jutsu. They waited for a few minutes but Sasuke didn't come. Genma didn't know what he should have done, because a lot of nobles came to see Sasuke, but he wasn't here so he had to disqualify him. However, if he did that he would anger the nobles. Hokage-dano Uchiha Sasuke didn't appear. Shouldn't we postpone his match? Asked the Kazekage with concern. I'm sorry, but we can't do that. If we do this we show that we are lenient with everyone who can't appear on time for a mission, said Minato. The nobles will be angry. Are you sure about this? Asked the Kazekage again. Uchiha Sasuke had his chance. If he can't appear on time for an exam, then he can't appear on time for the mission. So he isn't ready to be a Chunin, said Minato. A minute later Genma received the orders and did what he had to do. Because Uchiha Sasuke didn't appear on time, we disqualify him. The winner is Gaara, shouted Genma, and the whole Sasuke fan club started to boo. The loudest one was of course Sakura. What is the meaning of this? Is the Hokage gone mad? He can't do this. I paid a lot of money for seeing Sasuke-kun beats every losers here, screamed Sakura so loudly that the others had to put their fingers in their ears. I swear I will write a letter of complaint because of this injustice, said Sakura. It is not injustice. He had a chance but he didn't live with it, said Shino, and this pissed of Sakura. What did you bug, boy? Screamed Sakura. I say what you can't accept, the truth, said Shino. Oh, just shut up or I will tell Sasuke how all of you joined to that monster's side and then Sasuke-kun will kill all of you. I hope you are still with me, Ino, said Sakura, but Ino couldn't even look at her. Sakura, I think you need some help, because your love for Sasuke and hate for Naruto are a little over the roof, said Ino sadly. What? You would go out with someone else? What about Sasuke-kun? Are you insane? Asked Sakura. He never showed love for the girls who tried to approach him. I admit I wanted his attention too. But in the last month I started to realize he isn't as good as I thought, so you can have him. And for Naruto. I don't agree with his methods, but now I realize we were evil to him and pushed him so far which he couldn't endure. We are the reason he is like this, said Ino sadly, and Hinata was happy that she wasn't only one who realized this. However, she was afraid she would become a love rival. Fine. Do what you want. But I am sure that your boyfriend will never be as good as Sasuke-kun, said Sakura, and the others shocked their heads because they saw Sakura completely lost it. The next pair who had to fight was Shikamaru and Temari. Temari was way stronger than Shikamaru, but Shikamaru managed to catch Temari with his shadow jutsu. However, Shikamaru gave up because he ran out of chakra. The Kages admitted he was a Chunin material too because his superior intelligence. Before the next match started, Kankuro gave up, who had to fight against Neji. With this, Neji won. Of course, he had to preach about the fate. He started to preach about that he did well to give up because he wouldn't have any chance against him. Unfortunately, Dosa gave up his match too because he knew he didn't have a chance against Kabuto. After this, Kabuto disappeared. So the next will be Naruto against Gaara. Gaara was happy because he could fight somebody who was strong and would prove his existence. When both of them stood in front of each other, they couldn't help but smiled insanely at each other because they knew this fight will be bloody. However, before they could start it, Sasuke and Kakashi appeared by a leaf body flicker jutsu. Hello there, Genma, I hope we are not late, said Kakashi while he read his book. As a matter of fact, you are. Sasuke was disqualified because he couldn't appear in time, said Genma, but Sasuke only smiled. Let me talk to the Hokage and he will see my way, said Sasuke with a smug smile. If you want to talk to the Hokage, I will not stop you. However, these two want to fight, so you would better to leave, said Genma. Then Kakashi and Sasuke saw Naruto and Gaara. Loser, get the hell out of here. I will fight against Gaara, not you, said Sasuke with the same smile, but Naruto didn't responded. Hey, didn't you hear me? I said get the hell out of here, said Sasuke with anger now. You don't worth our time, so leave now before we kill you, said Gaara. Then he and Naruto sent so much killing intent on Sasuke that he started to retreat. Fine, I will take my case to the Hokage and the village council, said Sasuke, and left to speak to the Hokage and the council. While this happened in the grandstand, every Sasuke fans were in ecstasy because Sasuke appeared, but this ecstasy disappeared after Sasuke left. I am sorry for this idiot. But we should start, said Naruto with his insane smile. Yes, I agree, and you will prove my existence, said Gaara with his insane smile. We will see that, said Naruto. If you are ready, you can start, said Genma. Then he jumped back. Naruto didn't wait and pulled out his scythe. He activated the spear mode and shot out the blade. Unfortunately, Gaara's sand was faster and stopped the blade. Naruto didn't have much of a choice but to pull it back. While he did that, Gaara formed some sand shurikens and threw them at Naruto. Naruto blocked them with his scythe. Naruto tried to come up with a good plan, but firstly he had to test the capabilities of the sand. So he started to run at Gaara. Gaara tried to hit him with the sand, but Naruto always evaded it. When he was close enough, he tried to cut him up. Unfortunately, the sand was too fast and protected Gaara. Naruto tried it a few more times, but the sand protected him every time. He tried it with more speed, but it didn't work either. Because he started to run out of ideas, he summoned the Asterian beast. When it appeared, he hopped on his head and connected the scythe to its head. He ordered the beast to use its fire. When Gaara saw the fire, he raised the sand wall between him and the beast. However, the wall wasn't strong enough and started to give in to the fire. When Gaara realized this, he jumped away. When he did that, Naruto laughed a little. What is so funny? Asked Gaara with an annoyed tone. Since we started to fight, it was the first time you moved from the spot you stood, said Naruto. Then I will show you my most powerful jutsu. Let's see, you will be happy that time too, said Gaara, and started to create a sand orb around himself. When the Suna shinobi saw this, they knew it started. Orochimaru was a little angry because Gaara started the transformation earlier, but there will be always little or bigger changes in every plan. Naruto didn't want to wait what would came out, so he attacked the orb with fire. Unfortunately, the fire didn't work on it. Then he attacked it with the beast's bare hands, but spikes came out from the orb and injured the beast. Because of this, Naruto sent the beast back to the hell. Naruto started to run out of options and time, so he came up the next plan. He retreated a few meters and started to send his chakra into the scythe. Like in every weapon's case, if you sent your chakra into it, that weapon would become more powerful. Naruto did the same, and when he thought he was ready, he ran at the orb with full speed. The scythe turned to a spear again, and when Naruto was close enough, he started to evade the spikes, and when the target was close, he stabbed the scythe through the orb. It went in smoothly, and Naruto managed to stab it into Gaara's shoulder. When Gaara saw this, he lost it because it was the first time that he saw his own blood. Naruto saw something happened in the orb, so he quickly pulled out the scythe and retreated. While he did that, he saw that feathers started to fall in the ground stand, then he heard explosions. Finally the orb disappeared and Kankuro with Temari jumped in with their sensei Baki. You fool! You started the transformation way too soon, said Baki, who was very angry. What do we do, sensei? Asked Temari. Take him and heal his wounds. When he is good enough he have to continue, said Baki, and the others nodded. Then leave. Wait a minute. I still didn't finish the fight against him, said Naruto. Then Baki looked at him. Uzumaki Naruto, I received orders to capture you. So prepare yourself, said Baki, and started to run for Naruto. Naruto prepared for the attack, but suddenly Ginma appeared and stopped Baki. I hope I don't interrupt anything, said Ginma. As a matter of fact, yes. You interrupted me. Stand aside, or you will die, said Baki, who was now very pissed. I am sorry, but I can't let you capture Naruto, said Ginma. Then you will die, said Baki, and attacked Ginma, but Ginma managed to evade his attack. Then he retreated a few meters. Naruto, we are under attack. As a Jounin, I give you an order. Hunt down those 3 and capture them. If you can't, kill them, said Ginma, and Naruto smiled. I understood, said Naruto. Then he started to run after the Suna siblings. What do you say, Kurama? While we hunt those fools, why don't we kill a few shinobis and collect their souls? Asked Naruto, and Kurama smiled. I like the sound of that, said Kurama in Naruto's mind. In the Kage's ground stand the situation wasn't better. When they heard the first explosions, Orochimaru attacked Minato immediately. However, he wasn't a Hokage for nothing, he evaded the attack. When Orochimaru saw the attack was useless, he dropped his cape and showed himself. Orochimaru, I heard you were in the village. However, I can't let you leave. I will finish what Hiruzen couldn't, said Minato, but Orochimaru only smiled. You are welcome to try, Minato, but by the end of the day this village will be only dust, said Orochimaru. Kushina, go and help in the village, said Minato, and Kushina left immediately. Inoki, I know we are not friends and you would see me dead, but I ask you to help me kill this man, said Minato. Then Inoki stood up and took off his cape. Very well. I help you, but you owe me for this, said Inoki, and Minato nodded. Well then, let's start it, said Orochimaru, and suddenly the Sound 4 appeared and created a purple protected field on the roof. Well, at least you can't run away, Orochimaru, said Minato, but Orochimaru still smiled. Maybe it is true, but you can't use your flying thunder god jutsu to go outside. So you can't leave either, said Orochimaru, and Minato hated to admit it, but he saw the seals on the field that prevented him to leave. It doesn't matter, we will kill you right here and right now, shouted Minato. Then let's fight, said Orochimaru, and the shinobi started to run at each other. While Minato and Inoki started their fight against Orochimaru and Naruto left to stop Gaara and the other shinobis didn't get bored. Konoha was attacked by Suna and the Sound Village. A lot of Chunin, Jounin and ANBU level shinobi attacked Konoha. Outside the village an enormous snake approached to the village. Every Konoha shinobi who were in the village started to fight against the enemy to protect their village. Kakashi and other Jounins who were in the arena started to fight there. They woke up the Genins who were knocked out by a genjutsu. They gave them the order to help the civilians to find shelters because a war had just been started. Chapter 5, This is War. Naruto ran through the village to capture or to kill Gaara, Kankuro and Temari. While he did that he ran into Suna and Sound shinobis, and because they were in the way he killed them with some well-directed slashes, then collected their souls. He killed at least 50 shinobis before he reached the forest where Gaara and his sibling ran into. However, Naruto wasn't the only one who pursued Gaara and the others. Sasuke saw when Naruto started the chase and he followed him, and unfortunately Sakura was there too and she couldn't stop herself to stay there. So she followed Sasuke because she thought it was more important to cheer for him and watch him during the fight than help the civilians. While they pursued Gaara, Kushina went back to the Hokage tower and started to give orders for everyone. When everyone understood their job, Kushina went out fighting too. She killed a few shinobis when she saw Naruto, who pursued Gaara and his siblings. She didn't want Naruto to fight against him again, so she started to follow him and stop him in the right time. Jiraiya wasn't bored too. He had to go to the wall to summon some toads who could fight against the huge snakes. The other Jounins, Chunins, and ANBU agents fought within the village or on the wall to repel the enemy. And of course Minato and Inoki had their own fight against Orochimaru. Naruto jumped from branch to branch as fast as he could to catch Gaara. And he was really close to them. Of course Temari and Kankuro noticed this. He is right behind us. We have to slow him down somehow, said Kankuro while he and Temari carried Gaara. I know, but you are the puppeteer. Can't you make some traps? Asked Temari. There isn't enough time to make them. One of us has to stay behind to slow him down, said Kankuro, and Temari nodded. You have to stay because I am better at healing than you are, said Temari, and Kankuro nodded because she was right. She had more experience in healing. Kankuro suddenly let go of Gaara and stopped on a branch and prepared for Naruto. He took out his puppet, the crow, and attacked him with everything the puppet had. However, Naruto didn't have time to deal with him, so he took out his scythe, and when he was near enough he cut the puppet into pieces, and while he did that he cut the chakra threads too, so Kankuro couldn't use the parts again because he wouldn't have had enough time to do that. Then Naruto made one straight slash on his body. It wasn't enough to kill him, but he made him immobile. Kankuro fell to the ground and Naruto continued the hunt. How can it be? How could he defeat crows so quickly? He is stronger than I thought. However, he was the first one who could injure Gaara. So I should be happy I am still alive, thought Kankuro. Then he saw Sasuke and Sakura. Then a few minutes later Kushina too. They pursue Gaara and Temari. I would help them, but I can't move. Sorry sis, but you are on your own, thought Kankuro. Then he fainted. Back in the arena, Minato and Inoki fought against Orochimaru, and they had the upper hand. However, Orochimaru had his secret weapon, and after some hand seals 2 coffins came out of roof. Edo Tensei. Do you remember this jutsu, Minato? Said Orochimaru, and Minato gritted his teeth. How dare you use that jutsu? It is forbidden for a reason, shouted Minato in his anger. I dare because I can. Now introduce yourself, my friends, said Orochimaru, and the coffins opened and Minato stepped back a few steps because he saw who was inside. It was the first and the second Hokage. Orochimaru put a seal on them and they immediately attacked them. However, Minato wasn't the only one who was scared. Inoki trembled like never before. He still remembered the times when he and his master had to fight against them. Inoki, calm down, shouted Minato, and Inoki turned to him. It is true that Orochimaru could bring them back, however they are far from their true power, said Minato, but Inoki didn't understood. What do you mean? Asked Inoki. The Edo Tensei brought them back, but they don't have their full power. So they are weaker than when they were alive. I can't say for sure how strong they are now, but if we fight together we can defeat them easily, said Minato, and Inoki nodded. After a few minutes Inoki realized that Minato was right, they weren't that strong when he had to fight them years ago. However, because they were brought back because of the Edo Tensei, they couldn't kill them, so the only option was to seal them. After Inoki caught them with his Jin-Tun Jutsu, Minato managed to seal them. With this, only Orochimaru left behind. Minato didn't know how he could kill him because all of the jutsu he tried on him didn't work, so he came up with a new idea. He will take away his arms. With the help of Inoki, Minato caught Orochimaru and prepared to use the dead demon consuming seal. Right now I can't kill you, Orochimaru, but I can take away your jutsus, shouted Minato. You will not take away anything from me, shouted Orochimaru back. We will see. Dead demon consuming seal, said Minato, and suddenly the death appeared behind him. However, only Minato saw it. Seal away his arms, shouted Minato, but before the death could do anything it stopped. My scythe. My scythe, repeated the death the same 2 words. What are you talking about? Seal away his arms, I can't hold him for too long, shouted Minato. My scythe is near, said the death, then it disappeared. No, you can't go. Come back, shouted Minato, and Orochimaru saw a chance to escape from Minato's hold. I don't know who you are shouting to, but it looks like your jutsu didn't work, said Orochimaru, and he escaped from the hold. Well then, let's continue, said Orochimaru, and because Minato didn't have a better idea, he continued the fight. However, the death didn't disappear completely. It sensed his scythe and went after it. It found Naruto and appeared before him. Naruto stopped right after he saw the death. Give my scythe back, mortal, said the death. I suspect you are the death, and you want this, said Naruto, and took out his scythe. Yes, and now give it to me, said the death. I am sorry, but now I am a little busy. Moreover, I don't want to give it back. I like it, said Naruto with an evil smile. Then suddenly Sasuke and Sakura appeared. Then in the same time they went in the same direction which Gaara and Temari went. Later, loser, shouted Sasuke before he and Sakura disappeared. Damn it. Now I have to deal with them too. Thanks a lot, death, said Naruto, but he didn't realize that Kushina was there already. In the same time Sakura tried to talk to Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, do you know why Naruto Baka stopped so suddenly? Asked Sakura with some curiosity. Who cares? Maybe he got scared. But it doesn't matter, because a loser like him could never defeat Gaara, said Sasuke with a smug smile. But he defeated Yumi too. Of course he had to cheat to do that. But maybe Gaara will use some cheat move to defeat you, said Sakura. If she was defeated by him, then she is a weakling like the others. Now shut up, I have to concentrate to defeat Gaara and show everyone who is the strongest, said Sasuke with the same smug smile. Of course, Sasuke-kun, said Sakura with a smile, why she thought that Sasuke was so strong and wise. Now let's return to Naruto's and Death's conversation. You idiot. Couldn't you wait until I defeat Gaara? After that you could bother me, said Naruto, but Kushina didn't understand who he talked to because she didn't see anything. I was summoned by the 4th Hokage. And when he did that I sensed the scythe, so I came here and I found my scythe in the hands of a mortal, said the Death. It isn't the first time a mortal has the scythe. If I remember correctly, before me another mortal used this weapon. What was his name? Oh yes, Dante, who even defeated you. Then he trashed the whole hell, said Naruto, but unfortunately Kushina didn't understand anything. Yes, then Lucifer banished the scythe, which he didn't have the right. Now I want to claim it back, said the Death. I have a better idea, Death. I will do what Dante did and defeat you, said Naruto. Then he prepared to fight against the Death. And when Kushina heard the death word, she understood who Naruto talked to. Mortal, you will regret this, said the death. I don't think so, said Naruto. Then he disappeared and reappeared in front of the death, and just like Dante with a powerful slash he cut the death into 2 pieces. No, not again, screamed the death, and a lot of souls came out from its body which Naruto took. Kushina saw this but didn't know what they were. I will come back for you, boy. And I will take your rotten soul, screamed the death. Then it disappeared. You have to wait for that a little, said Naruto. Then he turned around. You can come out now, mother, I know you are there, said Naruto, and Kushina came out from her hiding place. I suspect you heard everything, said Naruto. Most of it, but I don't know what you were talking about. But I know you were talking to the death, said Kushina, and Naruto smiled. Well, yes, I did. It said my dear father summoned him, then he came here, said Naruto. Why did come here, Naruto? Asked Kushina, and Naruto started to laugh. Isn't it obvious? For an experienced shinobi you are very slow, said Naruto while he laughed. What are you talking about? Asked Kushina. He came for this, said Naruto, and he held up his scythe. Why would the death want your scythe? Asked Kushina. Then her eyes widened because she realized it. You realized it, didn't you? Asked Naruto. That is the death scythe, said Kushina, and Naruto nodded while he smiled. Naruto, are you out of your mind? Did you really steal the weapon of the death? Shouted Kushina in her anger, but Naruto only laughed. Like I said a month ago, I found it in a cave. But I think I have to tell you the whole story, said Naruto. And Kushina nodded because she was very curious about this story. You know, this isn't the only dimension, there are way too many to count them. And in one of these dimensions there was a mortal. His name is Dante, who stole the scythe, then defeated the death with it. Then to save his love, Dante attacked the hell to rescue her soul. He managed to do that, but before he could defeat the last demon, Lucifer, he banished the scythe somewhere, because it is one of the very few weapons that could harm demons. I don't know what happened to Dante, but I know he sealed away Lucifer. And Lucifer, before the sealing, he sent the scythe here, and I found it in the forest of death. Somehow the scythe preserved a few things from Dante. That is the reason I look like this, said Naruto, but Kushina thought it was unbelievable. And how do you know this? Asked Kushina. Kurama told me everything, said Naruto with a monotone voice. Kurama? Who is Kurama? Asked Kushina. Oh yes, you don't know his real name. But I think you know his other name. The Kyuubi, said Naruto with a smile, and Kushina's eyes widened again. You can talk to the Kyuubi? How? Asked Kushina, who thought this day is getting too long because of the events. He started to talk to me when I was 8 or 9 years old. He was my only friend because everybody thought I was a demon, said Naruto, and Kushina started to look at the ground because of the guilt. Now I told everything you wanted to know. If you excuse me, I have to finish my fight against Gaara, said Naruto, and he was about to leave when Kushina stopped him. I can't let you go, Naruto. It is too dangerous. Give me the scythe and I will finish this, said Kushina, and Naruto looked at her like she just grew another head. I will never give you my scythe. Don't even think about it, said Naruto, but Kushina didn't give up just yet. You said that weapon can injure demons, then it can injure Bijus too. Give it to me because I have better chances against him than you do, said Kushina, but Naruto didn't care about her reasons. I will finish this fight, not you, said Naruto. Then he heard an explosion from where Gaara and the others went. Great, now I have to clean up Sasuke's mess too, said Naruto with a groan. Naruto, please listen to me. Let me do this. I have better chances and I don't want to see you get hurt, said Kushina with a sad smile. Very touching, but I don't care, said Naruto. Then he ran to the spot where the explosion happened. Kushina followed him, hoping the situation changed his mind. When they arrived, they saw Sakura was pinned to a tree with sand and Sasuke was on his knee, and he panted like never before. So this is the power of the great Uchiha clan, said Naruto while he shocked his head. Shut up, loser. I will defeat him in a minute, said Sasuke, and tried to stand up but he couldn't. No, you will stay down and let me handle this, said Naruto, but Sasuke only laughed. If I couldn't defeat him, how could a loser like you defeat him? Said Sasuke with a smug smile. Oh, I think you will be surprised, said Naruto. Then he turned to Gaara. Show me what you can do, Gaara, shouted Naruto, and Gaara smiled. As you wish, Uzumaki Naruto, said Gaara, and he started to grow. Then a minute later Shikaku the one-tailed beast appeared, because Gaara fell asleep. Finally I am free. Now let's destroy something. It was so long and I am way out of practice, shouted Shikaku. Kurama, any ideas? Asked Naruto the fox. Well, Gaara used a lot of chakra to summon Shikaku. However, he can only be here until Gaara is sleeping. So if you can wake him up, Shikaku will go back to the seal, said Kurama, and Naruto nodded. It sounds easy, said Naruto, but Kurama laughed at him, as if. You have to climb up to his head where Gaara is. This is the first problem. The second is that Shikaku's body is made of sand, so if you touch him he can catch you then kill you. So the best option is to immobilize him then wake Gaara up from above, said Kurama, and Naruto nodded again. Naruto returned from his trip and saw Kushina was about to use her chains. And she managed to catch Shikaku. I got you now, Naruto, retreat now. I will deal with this monster, said Kushina, but her joy wasn't long because Shikaku started to use his sand to escape the chains. When Kushina saw this, she was surprised because it shouldn't have been possible. Your chains are weak, because you didn't train enough in the last few years, said Naruto. Let me show you how it is done, said Naruto. Then he made a few hand signs. Come forth, chains of Judeka, shouted Naruto, and chains came out from the ground and started to bind Shikaku. He wanted to get rid of them, but he realized he couldn't. What is this? Why can't I escape from these chains? Shouted Shikaku in his anger. What was that, Naruto? Asked Kushina. Those are the chains of Judeka. Those chains binded Lucifer for hundreds of years. It is the most powerful chains in the world, said Naruto, but he saw the chains weren't strong enough just yet, because Shikaku started to tear them off. The reason for this is that those weren't the original chains, only a copy, a very good copy. But Naruto needs to train a few more years before it will as strong as the original one. I don't have too much time. Stand aside, mother, I will finish this, said Naruto, but Kushina didn't listen to his son. Moreover, the chains could bind Shikaku at best for 5 minutes. I will not leave you here, said Kushina, and Naruto only groaned. Fine, do what you want, but don't complain if you get hurt, said Naruto, and started to do hand signs. Kurama, I will tire myself out completely if I summon Aiki. Please make sure that nobody steals my scythe if I faint, said Naruto, and Kurama nodded. Alright, kid. I will send a little part of my soul to the scythe. With this, only those can use it who has the same kind of soul inside of them. So because you are the only one with my soul, the scythe will be in safe, said Kurama, and Naruto nodded. Thank you. And now take this fight to the next level, said Naruto with an insane smile, and Kurama answered with his own. O mystical beast who punishes those who sinned against you, come and show us your power. Kuchios no Jutsu Cerberus, shouted Naruto, and suddenly an enormous monster appeared in front of Shikaku. It had 3 heads, each of them looked like it was some kind of worm. They had one big and some smaller mouths. It standed on its 4 legs, but the whole monster was a grotesque being. Kushina and Sasuke couldn't say a word when they saw it. Sasuke couldn't believe that Naruto could summon a monster like this, and Kushina was the same, but now she knew what was the second monster Naruto talked about, but she was curious what was the third one. Naruto quickly connected the scythe to Cerberus where the 3 head crossed themselves, and now Naruto controlled the beast. Alright, Cerberus, attack him, ordered Naruto, and Cerberus bellowed and started to run at Shikaku. Shikaku was still binded by the chains, but he still could use some wind-type techniques to protect himself. He managed to stop the attack, but Naruto didn't give up just yet. He ordered Cerberus to spit big acidic orbs at Shikaku. It was more or less useful because it slowed Shikaku. Naruto saw the chance and attacked Shikaku directly with Cerberus again. Cerberus grabbed him with his hands and with his heads. It bit into Shikaku to hold him in one place. Naruto pulled out his scythe and ran up to the middle head of Cerberus, then jumped to Gaara to wake him up. Naruto saw Cerberus without his control started to unbehave, so he sent him back to the hell. Fortunately, he was only a few meters from Gaara, so he used his scythe's dull end and hit Gaara with it. He woke up immediately. No, I don't want to go back. I just started to enjoy out here, screamed Shikaku because he felt that Gaara woke up. Naruto landed in front of Gaara after the hit. He panted because he was almost out of chakra. And because Shikaku had to return the seal, the sand colossus started to collapse. Gaara managed to summon some sand below himself and landed on a tree while Naruto used his scythe to pull himself to a tree. Both of them looked at each other. They were tired, but they had to finish the battle. They jumped to hit each other, but Naruto was faster, and his hits sent Gaara to the ground. However, Naruto wasn't luckier. He fell to the ground not far from Gaara. Gaara couldn't move because he was out of chakra, but Naruto managed to stand up with the help of his scythe. He dragged himself to Gaara, and when he looked at him, he swore he looked at the death himself, and it made him scared. No, leave me alone, screamed Gaara. Then Naruto stood in front of him and looked into his eyes. Please don't kill me, said Gaara. Then Naruto fell to the ground. I won't kill you. There is no reason to kill you, said Naruto, who was about to faint. What do you mean? Asked Gaara. I have seen your whole life. You became a monster, but you never intend to do it. Your father did it. You killed countless people when you never wanted to hurt anyone. In my eyes you are innocent. So I don't need to kill you, said Naruto. Then Temari appeared with a heavily wounded Kankuro. Gaara, are you alright? Asked Temari. Temari, it is over. We lost, let's go home, said Gaara, and Temari grabbed Gaara to leave with him and Kankuro. Before you leave, Gaara, there is something you must know, said Naruto. What is it? Asked Gaara. They lied to you. Your mother truly loved you, said Naruto, and Gaara's eyes widened. How do you know this? They always said she hated me, said Gaara, who thought Naruto lied. Like I said, I saw your whole life. Mostly I look for sins when I look at a person, but now I could see when you were born. Your mother was so happy to have. It was your father who screwed everything up, said Naruto, and Gaara nodded. Thank you for telling me this, said Gaara. Then he and the others left. While they jumped from a branch to another, Gaara started to cry because he was happy that his mother loved him. The others noticed this, and deep down they were happy too. Temari, Kankuro, I am sorry for everything, said Gaara, and the others smiled. It is alright, Gaara, you don't have to apologize for anything, said Temari, who was happy because she got his brother back. Back in the battlefield, Kushina caught Sakura before she fell to the ground. Then she created 2 shadow clones who took Sasuke and Sakura to the hospital, while the original one left to find Naruto. It didn't take too much time and found him. She ran to him to check if he was alive. Naruto, are you alright? Asked Kushina, but Naruto was knocked out by the time she reached him. She checked his heart, and she heard it. She sighed because she was happy he was alive. Kushina then saw the scythe in his hand and tried to take it, but when she touched it, the scythe burned her. She tried a few more times, but she realized she couldn't take it. So after some try and some shadow clones, she managed to put the scythe on Naruto's back. Then she grabbed him and went back to the village. Back in the arena, Minato, Inoki and Orochimaru saw when Shikaku appeared, and they knew the battle reached the top. Looks like Gaara transformed completely. What will you do now, Minato? You are trapped here, your daughter is in the hospital, and your wife won't be enough to defeat Gaara, said Orochimaru, and Minato gritted his teeth because he was right. However, a few minutes later they saw Cerberus too. Everybody stunned because they had no idea who summoned it. What the hell is that, Orochimaru? Another experiment of yours? Asked Minato in his anger. I would be happy to say that, but I don't know what is that. But if I had to bet, I would say your son's second monster, said Orochimaru, who was now really wanted to capture Naruto. Is that true, Minato? Asked Inoki. I have never seen these monsters, so I can't say for sure, said Minato, and Inoki sighed. They continued the fight until they saw that Shikaku disappeared. Then they saw beacons from the wall that they managed to repel the enemy. It is over, Orochimaru. Shikaku disappeared and your forces were repelled from the wall. Give up now, shouted Minato, and Orochimaru knew he lost. Maybe I lost this battle, but in the end I will destroy Konoha. Sound 4, we are leaving, shouted Orochimaru, and the 4 shinobis deactivated their jutsu. Then they ran away with Orochimaru. Minato and Inoki tried to catch them, but one of the Sound 4 shinobis used some kind of web to trap them, and when they managed to cut themselves out from it, Orochimaru and the others disappeared. Damn it, they got away, said Minato, who wasn't happy about the situation. There will be always next time, said Inoki, and Minato nodded. Thank you for your help. I owe you one. Maybe we can talk about alliance between Konoha and IWA, said Minato, and Inoki agreed after everything he saw this day. I agree, Minato, and I think I have a good idea how we can make this alliance strong, said Inoki. I am listening, said Minato, who was curious. You, son, and my granddaughter will marry with each other, said Inoki, and Minato was stunned for a minute, but he realized maybe it wasn't such a bad idea. I agree, said Minato with a smile. Chapter 6, Council Meeting. Naruto slept peacefully in a hospital bed. His eyes started to move under his eyelids, then he suddenly opened his eyes. He sat up and looked around to check out where he was. He saw he was in a hospital room and he was wearing a hospital gown. He saw he still had some bandages on his arms and on his chest. Then when he turned to left, he saw a bouquet of flowers in a vase and a card. On the card this text was, "Get well soon." Naruto didn't know how long he was out, so he asked the best one, Kurama. Hey Fox, are you there? Asked Naruto, and a moment later Kurama answered. Yes, I am here. Looks like you woke up. I started to get bored here, answered the enormous fox. How long was I out? Asked Naruto. A whole week, said Kurama with a monotone tone. Are you serious? A whole week? My god, said Naruto, and started to hold his head with one of his hands. Don't be so surprised. You summoned an Astrian beast 2 times and Cerberus too, and don't forget about the chains of Judeka. You should be happy you are still alive, said Kurama, because Naruto was near to die in chakra exhaustion. You are right. I am sorry, said Naruto. Anyway, where is my stuff? Asked Naruto with some concern, because he didn't want that someone take his clothes, his armor, or his scythe. Your clothes and armor are in the closet, and your scythe is next to the bed on the floor, said Kurama, and Naruto looked down and saw he was right. Naruto got out from the bed and opened the closet. He took out his stuff and started to dress up. When he finished, he grabbed his scythe and he wanted to put it on his back, but he saw something weird on the handle. When he examined a little closer, he saw it was burned flesh pieces from someone's hand and burned cloth pieces from a glove. Kurama, did someone try to take my scythe? Asked Naruto with some anger. Yes, a few idiots tried to take it. Firstly, your mother touched it, but she just wanted to carry it with you to here. She managed to put it on your back. Then when we arrived here and put you this room, the doctors touched it, but they couldn't do it for too long, and they thought the floor would be the best place for the time. Then that Uchiha bastard tried to take it. I have to say it was funny to see him when he grabbed it and burned his hand. He screamed like a little girl. The next one was his little puppy, Sakura. I think that was her name. She said something that monster like you didn't deserve a weapon like that, and if she got the scythe for the Uchiha bastard then he would date with her for sure. She brought a glove hoping it would be enough, but it didn't work. The last one who tried it was an ANBU agent, but it didn't work for the Hokage, because it preached something about Danzo and that he would be invincible with the scythe, and as you can see he couldn't take it, said Kurama, and Naruto could only laugh at their pitiful attempts. Those fools. They don't even know what they want to steal," said Naruto and went to the door to leave the room. When he stepped outside he only took a few steps when someone stopped in front of him. "Naruto and Isama? You are awake?" said a very surprised Yumi who came to the hospital with a bouquet of flowers to visit her brother. "Yumi? Why are you here? And why did you call me Sama?" asked Naruto, and Yumi became quiet. "Well, I am here because you are my brother, so as a sibling I have to take care of you. I have visited you every day since Mom brought you here, and I called you with Sama because you need the respect. After all, you defeated me and saved the village," said Yumi with some blush because she was embarrassed. "Yeah, and you think I will believe all this crap that you respect me and you take care of me? I am not that naive boy who you could beat and humiliate every time you wanted," said Naruto, and he started to leave. Yumi wanted to say something but she wasn't able to because Naruto was right. After Naruto beat her and humiliated her in front of everyone, she started to understand what Naruto felt in his whole life. And when he showed her the sins which she committed, she understood completely his situation. She woke up after the invasion was finished, so she didn't have any part in Konoha's victory. A little later Kushina came in with Naruto, and when Kushina gave him to the doctors to tend his wounds, she visited her daughter. When Yumi heard what Naruto did, she was surprised and astonished, because of Naruto's power. After this she promised she would fix her relationship with her estranged brother. However, Naruto was right about what he said about her. She was terrible to him, and Yumi realized it would take a lot of time to fix this relationship. He won't forgive her the first moment when they meet again. "Now if you excuse me I will go and stretch my limbs," said Naruto, and Yumi tried to say something but Naruto was gone before she could say anything. After Naruto left the hospital he started to go to the training grounds. He thought that would be the best place to move his muscles, but while he walked to there an ANBU agent appeared before him. "Uzumaki Naruto, the village council heard you are out of the hospital, and they want to talk to you. I will take you there immediately," said the agent and tried to grab Naruto to take him to the council chamber. But Naruto was faster. He took out his scythe and held it to the agent's neck. With one good move and the agent would be dead, because of decapitation. "If you try to grab me I will cut off your head. If the council wants to see, fine, I will go, but I will go there by my own legs. Did you understand it? Or should I spell it?" asked Naruto, and the agent saw the best option is that to let him go. "Very well. I will inform the council that you will be there shortly," said the agent, then disappeared. "Bastards," said Naruto, then put his scythe away and started to walk to the Hokage tower. While he walked he heard the whispers of the villagers. Everybody talked about him, and what happened during the invasion. "Hey, did you hear it? He could defeat Yumi-sama?" whispered a villager to another. "Yes, and I heard that supposedly he was the one who defeated the one-tailed beast too," whispered another villager. "I am not surprised. Only a demon can defeat another," said a third villager. "Maybe he started to regain his power. We should do something about it," said the fourth one. "You are right. I will call the others and at night we will beat the shit out from him. We will avenge our loved ones and Yumi-sama," said the first one again. However, Naruto stopped when he heard this, then turned to the group. "You know you want to repay me with a very weird way if you asked me," said Naruto and walked a little closer to the group. "Why would we repay you?" asked one of the villagers. "Maybe because I saved this cesspool, what you call a village. So you are welcome," said Naruto with anger. "But you hurted Yumi-sama, and 13 years ago it was you who killed a lot of innocent people," said another villager. "I defeated my sister in a fair fight. And because I see you know nothing about sealing, I will don't even try to explain how my seal works. You wouldn't understand a thing anyway, because I see that your IQ is somewhere on the level of an amoeba," said Naruto and started to leave. "How dare you call us stupids? We will request the council to kill you or banish you. You don't deserve living in our village," shouted one of the villagers, but Naruto only smiled. "Good, do it. If I am banished I don't have to live with narrow-minded idiots," said Naruto and chuckled a little. "That does it. Let's kill him now," shouted a villager, and the group started to run at Naruto with the intent to beat him. Some of them broke their glasses to use some sharp tools on Naruto. However, Naruto didn't have too much time, so he tried to finish this as fast as he could. He took out his scythe, and when a villager got near enough he slapped him with the scythe's dull end. He didn't need a minute, and the villagers were on the ground. "I can't believe that these weaklings were able to beat me when I was a kid. I would bet if I were a little tougher that time I could beat you with my bare hands. And now if you excuse me I have to deal with the bitches of the council," said Naruto and started to leave. "I hope they kill you, demon," shouted a villager who Naruto beat. But this time Naruto didn't stop, because he wasted more than enough time, these arrogant fools. A few minutes later he was in the Hokage tower and walked to the council chamber. Without knocking he stepped in and walked to the center of chamber. Around Naruto were the members. In the shinobi side there were the representatives of the Nara, Aburame, Hyuga, Akamichi, Inuzuka and Sarutobi clan. On the other side there were the representatives of the civilians. Naruto didn't know their names, but he didn't really care. Their number were 7. All of them had different kind of carrier, so they were the representatives of their fellow colleagues. There was a merchant, an engineer, a lawyer, etc., and in front of Naruto sat Minato and behind him was Kushina. Next to Minato were the elders of the village. Danzo, Hamura, Koharu and Saruto Hiruzen, the third Hokage. He gave his seat as a representative to his son, Asuma. And Hiruzen stayed as an advisor for Minato. So you wanted to see me? Asked Naruto, who was a little angry. Yes, Naruto, thank you for your coming, said Minato. So what do you want? I only woke up and right after I left the hospital you want to talk. Anyway, how did you know I left the hospital so soon? Asked Naruto with some suspiciousness. An ANBU agent always watched you in the hospital. When you woke up he informed me immediately, said Minato, and Naruto groaned. Fine. So what is the situation that couldn't wait? Said Naruto. Show some respect here, boy. You are in the presence of the best of the village, said someone from the civilian side. If I want to talk to you spineless cowards I will tell it, said Naruto, who didn't really want to deal with the civilians. How dare you call us spineless cowards? Hokage-sama, I request you arrest him immediately, shouted the same civilian. However, Minato was on the same page as Naruto was. That's enough, counselor. We are here to discuss what happened during the invasion and the future of the village, and not your problems about my son, said Minato a little louder. After this the counselor shoot up. So Naruto. Kushina gave me a very detailed report, but I want to ask a few questions, said Minato. What do you want to know? Asked Naruto, who wanted to finish this as soon as possible. Well, firstly, those chains of yours. They aren't the chakra chains that the Uzumaki clan used, right? Asked Minato, and Naruto nodded. Then can you teach it to other shinobis? Asked Minato, and Naruto smiled. Minato thought that Naruto could teach this to other shinobis, and with that they never have to worry about the bijus. So you want me to teach my techniques to some shinobis? Asked Naruto, and Minato nodded. Yes, Naruto. That would help the village a lot. You could save a lot of people, said Minato with a smile. Huh. Fat chance, my dear father, said Naruto with his evil smile. What do you mean? Asked Minato. Because all of techniques I know only I can use. Nobody else, said Naruto while he smiled. How can it be? They are not bloodline jutsus. So the other shinobis should be able to use them, said Koharu, one of the elders. And this is where you are wrong. I can only use them because I own this scythe. Every technique I have came from the scythe, said Naruto. Then we will take it from you and give it to someone who we trust, said Danzo with his monotone tone. You can try take it away, but I made sure only I can use it. I know Uchiha bastard Sasuke and his puppy Haruno bitch Sakura tried to take it away and they burned themselves when they wanted to do it. And I didn't forget about you, Danzo. An ANBU agent tried to take it too. Who was yours? Let me quest a rude agent, asked Naruto. Then he looked into Danzo's eye and saw all of his sins. I don't know what you are talking about. I never asked anybody to take that scythe. Moreover, the root program was finished and banned, said Danzo, but Naruto only chuckled. You are wrong, Danzo. I saw all of your sins. And let me tell you, those 143 root agents you have won't be able to protect you if I tell every villages what you have done, said Naruto, and this time Danzo started to get nervous. But let me continue. Should I tell the village council that you were the one who told Orochimaru the weak points of the village so they could attack us without anybody noticed it? Said Naruto, and now everybody looked at Danzo, who was now nervous but didn't show it. Or what about that you are not as injured as you show it? Yes, I know that your right arm is made of Senju Hashirama's cells, and let's not forget about those 10 Sharingans in your right arm. And of course Uchiha Shusoi's Sharingan under those bandages, said Naruto. I don't know what you are talking about. And you don't have any proof, said Danzo, but Naruto saw that Danzo maybe tried to run away, so Naruto prepared. Oh really? Then show us what is under your bandages and clothes. Come on, don't be shy. I think the others can bear the sight of an one-armed man, said Naruto to mock him. I don't have to show you anything. I lost my body parts in the last war, and that's all, said Danzo while he tried to get the control back. Danzo, as the Hokage order you to show us, said Minato, and Danzo hesitated, but a few moments later realized this was the end. Root agents, shouted Danzo, and 10 root agents jumped in. Kill everyone right now, ordered Danzo, and the agents didn't wait a moment. They jumped at the council members to kill them. However, Danzo was sure they would die, so he tried to run away. Of course Naruto saw this and used chains of Judeka and captured Danzo immediately. The others from the Shinobi Council killed the agents, then they turned to Naruto, who walked to Danzo. So this is the end, Danzo. Do you want to say something before I send you to the Judge of the Dead? Asked Naruto, and unfortunately Danzo didn't give it up just yet. He activated Shusoi's eye. I ordered HHHHHHH, screamed Danzo. Before he could activate his genjutsu, Naruto stabbed his blade into his eyes, and with that he destroyed it. Sorry, but that eye is very annoying. I hope you don't mind, said Naruto. You fool. Do you know what have you done? Screamed Danzo. Yeah, I just destroyed a very annoying weapon. And you are the next, said Naruto, and he raised his scythe to cut down Danzo. No, wait. If you help me become Hokage, I can give you everything you wanted. You can kill everyone who hurted you, said Danzo. And Naruto smiled. Danzo thought he could survive this after all. Sorry, but I don't think so. You smell of the sin of greed. You are a murderer and a traitor. So bye-bye, said Naruto and cut him down. Danzo died immediately and Naruto took his soul. Naruto put his scythe away then turned back to the council. Unfortunately the civilian side survived. So where were we? Asked Naruto. Naruto, you shouldn't have killed him. Maybe he knew some important informations, said Minato, who was a little angry. Pfft. I just killed a traitor who ordered God knows how many people's death. I think it is better like this. Moreover, he still has 133 fanatical followers. What do you think how much time it would take for them to escape him? Think a little. Oh, and I would suggest to clean out his underground facility before they destroy every important information, said Naruto. Then Minato sighed and nodded. He called Kakashi and he and a few squads of Jounins went to clean out the facility. After Minato gave the order they returned to the meeting. But you still killed a respected member of this council. For this you will be punished, and we will take that scythe of yours. ANBU, arrest him, said Koharu, and 2 ANBU agents came out of their hiding places. However, Minato stopped them. Stand down, both of you, said Minato, and they stopped. And Koharu, how dare you give orders to my agents? I would say it is treachery, said Minato, but Koharu didn't care what the young Hokage thought. It is not treachery if this is for the good of the village. Your son has power that we could use against our enemies, but because of his hate, he don't want to. I only ensure that the village will be here after I and my colleagues died, said Koharu, and Hamura nodded. However, Naruto only started to laugh. What is so funny? Asked Hamura with some anger. I am laughing because talk about yourself like you are some guardian angels of this village. But I saw all of your sins. And I wouldn't be so proud, said Naruto between two laughs. We never did anything which you call a sin, boy, said a member of civilian council. Oh really? Then let me remind you of your sins, said Naruto, and stepped in front of the civilian council. Let's begin with you, President of the National Bank. Tell me, how much money did you embezzle from civilians and shinobis? 5 million ryo? Not bad if I can say that. Even the Hokage doesn't earn this much money, said Naruto, and the president's eyes widened because nobody knew about this, only him. The others looked at him with wide eyes too. The leader of the merchants. Can you tell us how were the courtesans in the brothel yesterday where you go every week? What do you lie to your dear wife? You go to important meetings? You could come up with something original. And what about those 2 bastard children of yours? Are they good in school? Asked Naruto, and the reaction was the same from everybody. Are the main architect of the village. Why don't you tell us how much did you save when you used low-grade materials for the rebuildings? And where is the money you saved? On your bank account? You should be more careful, said Naruto, and the reaction was just like the 2 other times. Naruto continued this and revealed every dirty sins which the civilian council members had. Then Naruto turned to the shinobi side. However, he didn't find anything interesting there except one. Well, I have to say I am surprised because your sins aren't that interesting. All of you killed already, what a surprise. Naro Shikaku is a lazy man and afraid his own wife, boring. Akamichi Choza eats way too much, everyone heard about it. However, you, Hyuga Hayashi, have some very unpleasant sins. You always demoted your daughter, and you weren't tough enough to take responsibility to sacrifice yourself when a Kumo shinobi tried to kidnap your daughter. You let your brother do it. And don't you dare come up with that lame excuse that he paralyzed you. All of us know you are stronger than that. So in my eyes you are a coward and a traitor, said Naruto, and Hayashi wanted to say something but deep down he knew Naruto was right. And finally Naruto turned to the elders. Well, you are the last ones. Where should I start? Asked Naruto with his famous smile. Everybody could see he enjoyed this. You don't have anything on us, boy, said Koharu, but Naruto only smiled. We will see, said Naruto, then he looked into their eyes. Oh, I see it now, said Naruto, and he started to laugh. What is so funny? Shouted Koharu. You say I don't have anything on you. But you are wrong. I found some very interesting sins, said Naruto, but the others didn't understand. You said that everything you did was for the village, right? Asked Naruto, and they nodded. Then what about that, how you got your position? Asked Naruto, and Koharu's and Hamura's eyes widened. What are you talking about, Naruto? Asked Minato, because not even he understood it. Oh, it is very simple, my dear father. These 2 were so afraid to die that they sacrificed everyone just so they could survive the wars and in time they could become the elders of the village, said Naruto, and everyone looked at them now. Slander. We got our position by hard work, said Koharu. Oh, and what about that time when you left your team to die and you lied that you would come back with reinforcement? Of course you knew that it would take too much time to reach Konoha and go back in time. Or that time when you somehow, who knows how, didn't reach your destination in time and a lot of your comrades died because of that, said Naruto, and after these examples he told them at least 10 other examples, and when Naruto finished everybody realized the elders were a bunch of cowards who only cared about themselves. Koharu, Hamura, after the meeting I want to talk about a few things what you have done, said Minato with a very angry tone. Minato, you have to understand. Konoha needed us, we had to survive, and said Koharu, but Minato had enough of them. Shut up, or you will join to Danzo. And that is Hokage-sama to you. Did you understand it? Said Minato, and the elders realized they had to obey him. Yes, Hokage-sama. said both of them. Alright Naruto. Did you finish it? Or you want to continue this? Asked Minato, because this day started to become way too long. He thought he only have to deal with Naruto, but after Naruto's show he had to deal with the elders, the civilian council and the cleaning of Danzo's base too. I don't care about Sarutobi, so you are the last one, father, but I don't want to spoil the fun, so I stop it for now. Said Naruto, and Minato sighed. Right now he felt that he was way too old for this job. Alright, so you can't teach those techniques? Asked Minato, and Naruto nodded. Then can you tell us what were those creatures you summoned and the techniques you used? Asked Minato, but Naruto only smiled and laughed. Why are you so interested in me now? Before the Chunin exam you didn't care if I was alive or not. Said Naruto. Naruto, you are my son. I always care about you and your well-being. Said Minato. If this is true, why did you let the villagers to beat me almost every day? Asked Naruto. I never knew they were beating you. Said Minato, but he forgot Naruto knew every sins he ever committed. You lie, my dear father, and I don't even have to look into your eyes. Said Naruto with anger. Look Naruto, that was a mistake from my side, but I can explain everything if you let me. Said Minato with a nervous smile. I don't care about your pathetic excuses. If you want to know more about my techniques, then you can forget about it, because I won't tell you anything. If we finished I will leave. Said Naruto and started to go to the door. There is still one more thing we have to discuss. Said Minato, and Naruto stopped. What is it? Asked Naruto with an annoyed tone. I and that Sachikage agreed to create an alliance with each other. Said Minato, but Naruto wasn't impressed. Congratulations, you must be happy. But what do you want from me? Asked Naruto. Well, we think this alliance can be strong if we strengthen it with a marriage. Said Minato, and Naruto saw where this is going. You want to use me as a pawn in your little game to earn an alliance with IWA? Asked Naruto, who was now very pissed. Naruto, you would help the village a lot with this marriage. Moreover, you don't have to worry about finding a wife in the future. Said Minato with a smile. I don't need a wife, friends or family. I have one partner, and that is more than enough for me. Said Naruto, and Minato was shocked by his statement. You mean Kurama, the Kyuubi? Naruto, you can't trust him. He almost destroyed the whole village and killed hundreds of people. Said Minato. So what? You and the other shinobis killed who knows how many people and destroyed villages and town. The only exception is that Kurama did that one night, while you did it during the wars. So you are no better than Kurama. At least he cared about me when you didn't. So you can go to hell with your ideas. Said Naruto, and everyone stunned by him. Naruto, I want to help you. Said Minato with some concern. And who said I need your help? Do what you always do when I ask your help. Say I am too busy with the village, or paperwork, or training Yumi. Said Naruto, and Minato knew he really did these when Naruto wanted something. Well, now I will leave. Good day to everyone. Said Naruto, and Minato tried to stop him. Naruto, wait, shouted Minato, but Naruto already slammed the door when Minato shouted. This is unacceptable. This brat needs to learn some respect. And those baseless charges which he said is outrageous. Said a member from the civilian side. Naruto was right when he said something about someone's sins, so be prepared for a very profound investigation. Said Minato to the civilian council, who were a little afraid now. What do we do about Naruto? The IWA delegate will arrive in 2 weeks. Said Shikaku. I will think about something. For now the meeting is adjourned. Said Minato, but before the elders could leave, 2 ANBU agents appeared and took them to Ibiki, and of course some of civilian members were taken to Ibiki. 5 teams were sent in, and by the end of the day they caught or killed every root agents. They found documents about everything what Danzo did in the last 40 years. Unsanctioned missions, assassinations on lords, stealing from other countries, kidnapping from the orphanages, etc. After Naruto left the council chamber, he went to the training grounds to let out some steam. While he trained, he noticed someone is watching him. It wasn't an ANBU agent because they were better than this, so someone who was a shinobi but very untrained in stealth. Naruto had enough of it, so he started to shout, "Come out now! I don't like it when someone is spying on me!" Shouted Naruto, but nothing happened. He waited a minute but still nothing. "If you don't come out I will go, and you wouldn't like that!" Shouted Naruto again, and a few seconds later he heard footsteps. Then a half a minute later he saw who it was. It was Hinata, Hyuga Hinata. "Why are you spying on me?" asked Naruto. "I wasn't spying only said Hinata, but she was very nervous. "Alright, if you didn't spy on me, then what do you want?" asked Naruto, and Hinata became more nervous. "I just wanted to thank you when you saved my life," said Hinata, but Naruto didn't really care about it. "Yes, sure, you're welcome," said Naruto with a tone that said, "I don't care about it. If that is all, then leave, I want to be alone," said Naruto, who was ready to continue his training, but Hinata decided that today would be the day to tell him how she felt and fix every mistake she did. "Wait, Naruto-kun. There is still something I want to talk about," said Hinata, and Naruto only sighed. "What is it?" asked Naruto, who really wanted her to leave. "I made some mistakes in the past and this is the reason you are always alone," but said Hinata, but Naruto interrupted her. "I am perfectly fine alone," said Naruto. "But everyone needs friends," said Hinata, who couldn't believe her ears. If you want to bore me with that bullshit that somebody will be strong if he or she has something precious to protect, then don't bother. I don't need these weak ideals to become strong," said Naruto, and Hinata unconsciously stepped back a little. "Then what do you need to become strong?" asked Hinata, but she was already afraid of the answer. "Hate. I only need hate to become strong. I hate my family. I hate this village. And I hate this whole world," said Naruto with his famous evil smile. "Naruto-kun, please listen to me. This isn't you. Please stop this before you do something you will regret," said Hinata while she started to tear up. "What do you know? Everyone hates me, then I can hate everyone too," said Naruto. "But I don't hate you. I love you," shouted Hinata. "If you loved me, why weren't you there when I needed someone?" asked Naruto, and Hinata suddenly became silent. "You weren't there because your father blackmailed you. He said that if you even try to get closer to me you will be branded with the cursed seal and sent to Branch House," said Naruto, and Hinata's eyes widened. "No, it wasn't like that," said Hinata, but Naruto didn't care about her excuses. "Then let me jog your memory. Face your sins," said Naruto, and Hinata was sucked in the tattoo just like Yumi and Jiraiya. Flashback 7 years ago. The 6 years Hinata sat in front of her father, who wasn't very happy. Hinata's progress was pitiful, while her sister's was impressive. Moreover, he heard she was saved by Uzumaki Naruto, who was considered a demon, a failure. And as an encore she tried to befriend him. She couldn't let that Hinata destroy more the family's name. "Hinata, I heard you wanted to befriend Uzumaki Naruto. Is that true?" asked Hayashi. "Yes, father. He seemed lonely, and that is," said Hinata, but Hayashi interrupted her. "I don't care about your reasons. However, you can't be friends," said Hayashi, and Hinata became sad. "But why, father? He is a good boy." "I am sure he," said Hinata, but Hayashi interrupted her again. "Silence!" shouted Hayashi, and Hinata became silent right away. "You stop this or I swear I will brand you myself and send you to the Branch family. You will be a very good example for everybody who doesn't agree with my decisions because I will use the seal on you daily. Did you understand?" asked Hayashi, and Hinata nodded. "Very good. Tomorrow you will look for him and tell him you can't be friends because you can't be seen with a commoner and failure like him. Moreover, from tomorrow we will double your training. Is that clear?" asked Hayashi, and Hinata nodded again. The next day in the park, Naruto waited for Hinata because she promised she would play with him. He was very excited because this was the first time he could have a friend. A few minutes later Hinata arrived and Naruto ran to her. "Hi Hinata-chan. So what do you want to play firstly?" asked Naruto with a happy tone. "I am sorry Uzumaki-san, but we can't play." "Not now, not tomorrow, never," said Hinata with a stern voice. "What are you talking about?" asked Naruto, who started to panic. "I am the heiress of the Hyuga family, and I can't be seen with a commoner and failure like you Uzumaki-san. So this is goodbye. Take care," said Hinata with the same stern voice. Then she started to leave, while Naruto processed what happened. But he understood it. It was just impossible for him to have friends. He started to cry, then ran away. However, he didn't see that Hinata was crying too. After this, Naruto didn't even try to have friends, and Hinata didn't talk to him, but sometimes she watched him from a safe distance. End of the flashback. Hinata collapsed on her knees and started to cry like there was no tomorrow. Naruto stepped beside her but didn't look at her. "You are a coward and a traitor. You betrayed my trust and hid behind excuses. And yet you have the gut to say that you love me. I am so sick of you," said Naruto with a calm voice. "But in a way I am thankful because without you I wouldn't be what I am now," continued Naruto. "I am so sorry. Please forgive me," said Hinata while she cried. "I don't care what you want," said Naruto and started to leave. "Please don't leave. I love you and I want to be with you," said Hinata. "It is very touching. But I don't love you," said Naruto, and when Hinata heard this her heart broke to a million pieces. "However, when I start to hunt down those who hurted me, maybe I will spare you because you were the one who destroyed the last of my hope that I could live happily later," said Naruto. Then he disappeared and left Hinata alone. She cried without stop because she realized she helped created this Naruto who didn't care about anything or anybody. He only wanted to see everybody dead at his feet who hurted him. The last thought that went through her mind, before she fainted, was, "What have I done?" Chapter 7 New Mission. Yumi was in the training grounds and looked for his estranged brother. She heard from her mother what happened and wanted to talk about it with Naruto. Because she didn't find him in the village, she knew the only place she could find him was the training grounds. She looked for him for a long time now but still nothing. Then she suddenly saw something on a clear. She went closer and saw it was Hinata. She checked if she was alright, and when she touched her forehead she felt how hot it was. She couldn't just leave her there, so she grabbed her and took her to the hospital. Fortunately, from that training ground the hospital wasn't far. She arrived after a few minutes. When she stepped in she went to the head nurse. "Excuse me, but I need help with her," said Yumi, and the nurse immediately stood up and went to them. "What happened to her?" asked the nurse with worry. "I don't know. I found her like this. But she has a fever," said Yumi, and the nurse checked her forehead. "I will call a doctor right away," said the nurse, and went back to her desk to call a doctor. A minute later a tall woman doctor came to help them. "What happened?" asked the doctor, and Yumi said the same thing which she said to the nurse. I see. Maybe it is a heat stroke. Nurse, take her to a normal temperature room. Connect and 4 bag to her and take off that coat from her. If she doesn't react after a half an hour, then call me again, said the doctor, and the nurse nodded. Can you help me? Asked nurse from Yumi, and Yumi nodded. They did what the doctor said, then let her rest. It seemed the doctor was right, because after a half an hour Hinata's fever started to go down, and she started to breath calmer. I have to see some other patients. Can you watch her? Asked the nurse from Yumi, and she nodded again. Yumi just watched as Hinata was sleeping. Then she heard something. It was more like a whisper. She didn't know where it came from. Then she turned to Hinata and saw it was her. She talked in her sleep. Yumi couldn't understand it for the first time, but in time she understood it. She said forgive me after every few seconds. Then in time she stopped it. Yumi looked at the sleeping girl and she supposed Naruto was the cause of her fever. A few hours later Hinata started to wake up, then she opened her eyes and sat up. She looked around and saw she was in the hospital, and Yumi was there with her. You are awake. That's good. I will call the doctor, said Yumi, then left the room. A few minutes later she came back with the same doctor who treated her. How are you feeling, Miss Hyuga? Asked the doctor. I feel better. Thank you, said Hinata. Then the doctor checked her fever and her heart. Both of them were okay. Well, your fever went down. Did you train a little too hard? Asked the doctor, and Hinata hated lying, but right now she thought that was the best option. I did. And before I could notice I fainted because of the heat, said Hinata, but Yumi knew she lied. Well, you can go, but be more careful. Don't wear so warm clothes and take some water with yourself the next time, said the doctor, and Hinata nodded. Well, I have to go now. Take care, said the doctor, and Hinata started to collect her things to go home. You lied, didn't you, Hinata? Asked Yumi, and Hinata suddenly froze where she stood. What are you talking about, Yumi-san? Why would I lie to a doctor? Asked Hinata. Because I know it wasn't a heat stroke that knocked you out. It was Naruto, am I right? Asked Yumi, and Hinata couldn't hide it anymore. She started to cry and then turned to Yumi. I did something terrible to Naruto-kun. And now he hates me. Because of the shock I fainted, said Hinata while she was crying. What did you? Asked Yumi. It happened before we started to attend to the academy. I was running in the village because my father had hit me again, because he thought I am not the perfect daughter he wanted. That's why I wanted to run away from home, but I ran into an older kid and ruined his ice cream. He didn't take it too well. I tried to apologize, but he and his friends started to bully me. That's when Naruto came and scared them away. After this we talked a little and asked me to become his friend, because he didn't have any. I said I would be happy and I promised him I would play with him the next day. However, I didn't know my protector was there and saw everything. He reported everything to my father, who didn't take it too well. He ordered me to destroy every relation with Naruto, or he would brand me and send me to the branch family. Moreover, he would use the seal on me every day to show everyone what would have happened to them if they didn't agree with him. And because of my fear I did that. Naruto ran away with tears in his eyes after I had said some hurtful words. After this we never talked, but I watched him from a safe distance, and before I could notice I was in love with him. And during the Chunin exam I decided to fix everything, so I collected every braveness I could and I confessed my feelings to him, said Hinata. And what did he say? Asked Yumi, but she already known the answer. He doesn't love me. And I am sure he never will. I am too late. The Naruto who saved me is long gone, said Hinata while she started to tear up. Is that all he did? Asked Yumi. Hinata shocked her head, then said, he made me face my sin. He said I was the reason that the last of his hope was destroyed. And I can't argue with that. I destroyed a warm-hearted boy because of my cowardness, and created a monster who kills because it is fun for him. I suppose there is a special place in the hell for me because of what I have done, said Hinata, and Yumi didn't like what she heard. So Yumi slapped her. It was a strong one and left a mark on her cheek. Hinata was stunned for a few seconds, then looked at Yumi's angry face. So that's it? You just give up? If you do this, then Naruto is right, you are a coward, said Yumi with an angry tone. But what can I do? He doesn't care about me. He only saved me so he could punish me, said Hinata with a tone that said she didn't care about anything anymore. Hinata, listen to me. I know there is still good in him. It is only buried under his hate, anger and sorrow, said Yumi with a hopeful tone. How can you be so sure? Asked Hinata. He could kill me during our match, but he didn't do it. He could ignore Genma's statement and kill me, but he didn't do it despite of all the terrible things I did. And he could kill you too anytime, but he didn't do it, because deep down he still cares about us. Plus maybe he blames your father too, said Yumi, and this made Hinata think about everything that happened. And how do you want to help bringing back the old Naruto-kun? Asked Hinata, who started to hope again. Everything started with that scythe. If we can take it from him and destroy it, maybe that could solve everything, or at least that could give us some leads, said Yumi, but it didn't convince Hinata. But what if this only makes him angrier? Asked Hinata. This is the reason we will go to my dad to ask about that scythe. I heard that they got some new informations about it. Maybe those informations can be useful. said Yumi, and Hinata nodded. Then let's go, said Hinata, and she was about to leave, but Yumi stopped her. Wait, Hinata. There is one more thing, said Yumi. Yes? said Hinata. I promise you we will bring back my brother. And when he is the old himself again, he will take you to the best place in the village as a date, and if he doesn't want to, I will make him, said Yumi with a smile, and Hinata blushed when she heard this. Okay, thank you, said Hinata with a smile. Then let's go, said Yumi, and they left the hospital to visit Minato. Right now Minato was still in his office and examined every information they found in Danzo's base and house. Minato couldn't understand how Danzo was able to hide all of this. Somebody had to notice it. Of course, there was the chance he silenced those who was near to unveil Danzo. Minato continued to work when somebody knocked. Enter, said Minato, and a medic shinobi stepped in. He bowed, then waited for Minato. What can I do for you? asked Minato. I am sorry I disturbed you, Hokage-sama, but we need to ask you something, said the medic. We? asked Minato. I and the other medics in the hospital. There are a lot of patients we can't treat because none of us has the needed knowledge. That's why we need your help, said the medic. What do you mean? asked Minato. There are injuries we can't treat because our stuff wasn't taught to treat them, because those kind of methods were only taught during the war. We want to help them, but we can't because we don't have the specific knowledge and method, said the medic, and Minato now understood what the problem was. After the war, some of the methods weren't taught for the medic shinobis, because it needed a lot of time and practice. However, they needed the medics, so most of the things they learned were the basic stuff. And what is it you want? asked Minato. We asked you to bring Tsunade-sama back. Only she has the needed knowledge and practice. Without her, a lot of people will die, said the medic, and Minato nodded. I will send out a team immediately to bring her back, said Minato, and the medic nodded. Thank you, Hokage-sama. If you excuse me, I have to return to the hospital, said the medic, and Minato nodded. After he left, Minato called an ANBU agent to bring Jiraiya here. It didn't take much time, and Jiraiya stood in front of Minato. Hey kid. What's the matter? I see you have a lot of work here, said Jiraiya. Don't remind me. After Naruto's little parade in the council chamber, I have a lot more work, said Minato with a sad smile. I heard that he made a big circus there, but I don't know the details. Can you fill me? asked Jiraiya. Thanks to Naruto, we arrested most of the civilian council and the elders except Hiruzen. And Naruto killed Danzo after it was proved he was a traitor, said Minato. Well, I have to say the kid knows how to clean the house, said Jiraiya, and Minato nodded. Yes. Right now I read the documents we found in Danzo's base and house. Then I have to check some old documents about the elders and their missions, and after that I have to investigate how deep this conspiration circle is which the civilian council created. So yes, I have a lot of work, said Minato. I don't envy you. But I am sure you called because I have to do something important. I have to save a virgin princess or something like that? asked Jiraiya with a pervert smile. Almost. You have to bring back Tsunade, said Minato, and Jiraiya's smile disappeared. You know, I just remembered I have to check one of the leads which was told me by one of my informants, said Jiraiya with a nervous tone. Don't think so, sensei. You have to get her back, said Minato. Minato, you know that she hates me after I tried to peep on her in the bathhouse. If she sees me, she will kill me immediately, said Jiraiya with pure fear. Then you can take somebody with yourself to protect you, said Minato to calm Jiraiya down. Very well. And who are the lucky ones I can choose from? asked Jiraiya. Tell me if there is somebody you want to take with yourself, said Minato, and Jiraiya started to think. What would you say if I took Naruto with myself? asked Jiraiya. Minato was a little surprised, but maybe it wasn't such a bad idea. Well, at first I thought you were insane, but as a second thought it is not a bad idea, said Minato. Yes, maybe a little time out of the village would help his mood. Maybe I can teach him something and earn a little bit of his trust, said Jiraiya, and Minato nodded. All right. Look for Naruto and tell him I send him to a mission with you, said Minato, and Jiraiya nodded. After Jiraiya had left, Yumi and Hinata came in to talk with Minato. Yumi, Hinata-san, what can I do for you? asked Minato. Dad, I heard that there are new informations about Inai-sama's scythe. Can you tell me about it? asked Yumi with hopeful eyes. Sorry, Yumi. But those are classified information. I can't tell you anything, said Minato, and Yumi's smile disappeared. Oh, come on, Dad. We want to bring back the old Inai-sama. With those information maybe we are able to do it, said Yumi. Those information wouldn't help you, Yumi, said Minato. Then what can you tell me that could help? asked Yumi. There is nothing that could help you right now. The only thing I can tell you that try to become his friend, said Minato while he started to watch the ground. Well, that is not much help, said Yumi with some anger. I don't have better options. I want to see the old Naruto too, but we don't have enough information about the scythe, said Minato. What would happen if we destroyed it? asked Yumi, and Minato chuckled a little. If we were able to do that. However, it is not possible to destroy such a weapon, said Minato. What are you talking about? asked Yumi, who was now curious. Never mind. Go home now. I will be at home by diner, said Minato, and because Yumi didn't have a better idea she left with Hinata. What should we do now? Asked Hinata, and Yumi thought about it. We go home now, but tomorrow we will go to the library. Maybe we can find something about that scythe, said Yumi, and Hinata nodded. While Yumi and Hinata went home, Naruto was in the village and his destination was his so-called home. Right now the villagers left him alone because they didn't want to piss that person off who defeated Yumi and Shikaku. While somebody appeared before him, somebody he hated very much. It was Uchiha Sasuke. He had his annoying smug smile, but Naruto knew that the Uchiha boy didn't have anything that could keep him at bay. What do you want? Asked Naruto after he stopped. I have a permission from the village council to take away your scythe and give it to them. And they will give it to me. So to spare some time, why don't you just give it to me? Said Sasuke with the same smug smile. Show me the permission, said Naruto, and Sasuke showed him. It was made before Naruto woke up and everybody signed it from the civilian council. However, the elders, Minato and the shinobi council didn't sign it. This paper doesn't worth anything because only the civilian council signed it. And I just heard they were arrested, so this paper is only good for toilet paper, said Naruto. Then he tore it apart in front of Sasuke. You can't do that. You saw the permission. Give me the scythe, screamed Sasuke. I don't care what you or the civilian council want. I am not there or your bitch. None of you can order me anything, said Naruto with a smile. Then I will go to the Hokage, said Sasuke with a smug smile. Do that, but he will say the same thing, said Naruto. Then he started to leave. However, Sasuke got in his way. Then I will take it from you by force, said Sasuke, and started to make the hand signs for the Chidori. Naruto only smiled. Good, then I can say it was self-defense after I had killed you, said Naruto, and took out his scythe. But before any of them could do anything, Jiraiya appeared. What is going on here? Stand down, both of you, said Jiraiya. Out of my way, old man. That loser has something that I want, and I will take it from him, said Sasuke, but before he could attack, Kakashi appeared behind him and knocked him out. I am sorry, Jiraiya-sama. I don't know what he thought when he wanted to use the Chidori. But I will talk to him, said Kakashi, and Jiraiya nodded. Kakashi left with Sasuke. After they had left, Jiraiya turned to Naruto, who already put his scythe away. What do you want now? Another ride with your sins? Asked Naruto while he smiled. Jiraiya just remembered when he used that on him, and he didn't want to experience it again. No. I came because the Hokage gave us a mission, said Jiraiya. What mission? Asked Naruto. We have to find Tsunadeheim and bring her back to the village, said Jiraiya. And why would I go? Asked Naruto. You can leave the village for a short time. And who knows, maybe we will run into some strong opponents, said Jiraiya, and Naruto thought about it. Some new souls would be good. Alright. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go, said Naruto. After Jiraiya convinced Naruto to come with them, they started their journey to find Tsunade. While they traveled, Jiraiya tried to talk to Naruto, but Naruto wasn't in the mood. The first day was uneventful, but a few days later they stopped in a little town to rest. Naruto stayed in the inn while Jiraiya went out collecting information. Naruto sharpened his scythe when he heard a knock on his door. When he opened, 2 men stood before him. Both of them wore a black coat with red clouds. One of them was higher and had a huge sword. The other one was smaller, but he had red eyes. When Naruto looked at him, he saw he had a pair of Sharingan. Uzumaki Naruto. Our organization needs you and your sister. Please come with us, said Uchiha Itachi, who was the smaller one. Naruto used all of his power to resist his eyes. Itachi was surprised because Naruto was stronger than he thought. Forget it, Itachi. I will take care of this, said the other one, who took out his sword to knock Naruto out. He was Hashikaji Kisame. However, Naruto was faster, and he managed to evade the attack. He picked up his scythe and prepared the battle. What happened there, Kurama? Asked Naruto from the giant fox. His Sharingan is way more powerful than I thought. You could resist his genjutsu now, but you can't look into his eyes again, said the fox. Got it, said Naruto, and started to hand signs. When he finished, the chains of Judeka came out and binded Itachi. This will make you stay there while I make sushi from your friend, said Naruto, and started to attack Kisame. I will take care of him, Itachi. You just stay there, said Kisame. As you wish, said Itachi. Naruto and Kisame started their duel against each other with their prized weapons. Naruto was good, but even he could saw Kisame had the upper hand because of his experience. However, both of them could make some injuries on the other. After a 5 minutes of fight, both of them made some distance, and looked at each other to check how much damage they could cause. Naruto managed to leave some deep cuts on his face and arm. However, Kisame left more cuts on him, and most of them were pretty deep. Then Kisame smiled and started to laugh. What is so funny? Asked Naruto. It was so long someone could give me a good fight. I will enjoy it as long as I can, said Kisame, and prepared to attack again, but someone stopped them. Itachi! Shouted Sasuke. Sasuke? Said Itachi. I will kill you! Shouted Sasuke, and started to run at Itachi with the Chidori. He managed to stab him, but then he became a group of crows. When Naruto saw this, he didn't understand it. He was sure he caught him with the chains. Then Itachi appeared again and used the Tsukuyomi on Sasuke and knocked him out with it. Naruto started to panic because right now he was in a very bad situation. He could hold up against Kisame for a time, but right now he couldn't defend himself against both of them. Well then, where were we? Asked Kisame, but suddenly the walls became like something's stomach. Then suddenly Jiraiya appeared. You could invite me too if you wanted to fight, Itachi, said Jiraiya. Kisame, we have to leave. If Jiraiya is here, then reinforcement will arrive soon enough, said Itachi. TCH, fine. We will finish our fight next time, said Kisame. Then he and Itachi ran away. Jiraiya tried to stop them, but they managed to escape. A few minutes later Guy appeared and said the ANBU will look around and maybe they will find them. Guy took Sasuke back to Todhi village, and Jiraiya with Naruto continued the journey to find Tsunade after Naruto's wounds had been treated. A few days later they were in Tanzaka quarters. Jiraiya's informant said Tsunade should be here. After they had arrived they started to look for Tsunade. They didn't have any luck, so they thought it would be better to finish it for the night. However, before they went to an inn they went to eat, and the first place they went in was the place where Tsunade was. They noticed each other immediately. Jiraiya said hi, and Tsunade's first reaction was to hit him. With this he flew out from the house. This is for peeping on me, said Tsunade. Then she went back to her drink. Nice hit, said Naruto with a smile. And who are you? Asked Tsunade, who was a little drunk. Of course you don't remember me. You never cared about me, just like my parents and that idiot who you just hit, said Naruto, and Tsunade tried to think a little harder, but the sake dulled her mind a little. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Do you remember now? Asked Naruto, and Tsunade's eyes widened just like Shizen's, who was there too with taunton. Naruto, you grew so big. I am sure you stronger too, said Tsunade with a nervous tone. Don't play the idiot. After you realized there was nothing you could teach Yumi, you left the village. Even though you could teach me a lot of things, but you thought my parents would teach me. Well, unfortunately you were wrong. They never teach me. I was lucky I survived the first few months as a shinobi. But right now I don't care what you think about me. Pack your stuff, we are going back to the village, said Naruto, and Tsunade felt some guilt about Naruto. It wasn't Yumi's training the only thing, because I left. I wanted to get away from my bad memories, said Tsunade. Spare me your excuses. You lost your little brother and your love. That's all. Others lost their whole family and has more spine than you do, because they don't run from their problems, said Naruto, but this only angered Tsunade. What do you know? You never lost anything, said Tsunade in her anger. You are right. I never lost anything, said Naruto. See? Your situation is much better, said Tsunade, but Naruto only chuckled. You didn't let me finish. I said I never lost anything, because I had nothing from the beginning, said Naruto, and Tsunade's eyes widened again. I never had a family, because they never cared about me if I was alive or not. Because of the villagers I didn't have friends, and because of a coward wench I never learned what love is, said Naruto. He started to leave when Jiraiya returned. I leave. She doesn't worth my time, or anybody's time. Do what you want, pervert, said Naruto, then left. Jiraiya only shocked his head. I suppose you talked to the new Naruto, said Jiraiya. What do you mean new? Asked Shizen. After this question Jiraiya explained everything. He told them about the scythe, his strange powers, the Chunin exam, the invasion, the council meeting, and the new alliance with IWA. Both Tsunade and Shizen was stunned about what happened in the last few months. And it was worrisome. They hoped the marriage would help ease the tension, but it was oil to the fire. Naruto is angrier than ever, and the fact that he destroyed council by arresting and killing Danzo only shows he is nobody's dog. Can't Minato do anything? Asked Shizen with some fear. Well, right now, I have no idea. We offered him training and a wife. But he doesn't need them, said Jiraiya. Did you try to take the scythe? Asked Tsunade, and Jiraiya nodded. Then why does he have it even now? Asked Tsunade. Because only he can touch it. If somebody else tries to touch it, the scythe will burn you hardly, said Jiraiya, and Tsunade nodded to show she understood it. I suspect if I offer training he will refuse it. Right, asked Tsunade. How strong he is now? Asked Shizen. It is hard to say. He managed to defeat Yumi and Gaara. But he had trouble when he had to deal with Kisame and Itachi. I would say he is high Chunin, and he is very close to a low Jounin rank, said Jiraiya, and the other two were stunned by this. But you can discuss the details with Minato and Kushina. Right now I am here to bring you back. The village needs you again, said Jiraiya. Why should I return? You said Naruto wants to kill everybody who sinned against him. I am on his list. It would be better to stay out of his radar, said Tsunade. Don't tell me you became a coward? Asked Jiraiya. I don't care what you think about me, but I will not return, said Tsunade. The medics need your knowledge. You are the only one who can help treating the people who were injured in the invasion. You would never leave an injured person to die needlessly, said Jiraiya, and Tsunade couldn't deny this. Fine. I will return. But after I treated everyone I would leave, said Tsunade. You can talk about the details with Minato, said Jiraiya. Alright. We leave at the morning, said Tsunade, and the others nodded, and true to her words, the next morning they left the city to return to the village. Tsunade couldn't say a word to Naruto. However, Shizen tried to talk to him. Naruto didn't have any problems with Shizen, so he talked to her a little. He didn't tell her anything that was concrete, just little things. For example, what was his favorite food, what was his favorite color when he was little, and so on. It was strange to Jiraiya that Shizen could talk to Naruto. Before her, nobody managed to make him talk. But the tone that Shizen used wasn't a simple one. She talked to him like a real friend, or he would risk to say it that she talked to him like a parent would. It took them a few days, but they reached the village. They went to Minato immediately. Minato was happy that they arrived so soon. He asked Tsunade to help the doctors now, and if she finished her work there they could talk about what would happen after this. After everybody had left except Jiraiya, he told Minato what happened during the mission. So the Akatsuki needs both Yumi and Naruto, said Minato, and Jiraiya nodded. Yes, but I suspect they want the other Bijus too, said Jiraiya. Do you have any idea what they want to use them? Asked Minato, but Jiraiya shocked his head. Then the only thing we can do is to prepare for their coming. The alliance with IWA could help a lot, said Minato. But Naruto doesn't want to get married. What do you want to do? Asked Jiraiya. Naruto doesn't have a choice. His bride will arrive in a few days. And I want them get married by the end of the month, said Minato. You will just make him angrier, said Jiraiya with some concern. I made him angry in his whole life. I think a little more won't hurt anybody, said Minato, but Jiraiya only shocked his head. I hope you are right, Minato. For everybody's sake, said Jiraiya, then he left. I hope so too, sensei. What if Naruto finds a scythe in the forest of death? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.